Hello everyone, and welcome to yet another Soulsborne boss tier list. Obviously, the format for today's video is a little different, and that it's not a video, it's a live stream. I decided to do this because otherwise it would be like an hour-long video. And when a video is that long, you might as well just do a stream. Especially since I don't script any of my shit anyway. Wouldn't really make much of a difference. Now, let's see here. I'm gonna wait for some people to get in. In the meantime, I will be organizing all of the bosses, before I put them in the list. I also can't tell if the stream's buffering or if it's just studio loading the stream. Are we buffering? No, it doesn't look like it. Cool. Let me actually do a couple things first. Alright, I need to, My god, Fred Bode is taking forever to fucking think of the OST. Actually, everything's just kind of taking a long time to load. What the fuck is going on? I suppose I do have quite a few things open at the moment, so it does make sense. Here, let me disconnect my phone from the Wi-Fi here. That may help. Though I suppose if it's just taking a long time in general, that's not a problem on my end. That's Fredboat being really fucking slow. Oh, for God's sake. Is the bot just not going to work today? It's just not going to work right now because I want it to work? Of course. Naturally. Jesus, man, everything's so slow right now. Okay, so just oh, wow, my God. So how are you guys doing? Who's in here so far? I'm curious. So far, we just had Uchiha, who said hello a little while ago. But who's in here now? Oh, we have Fine and VC. Hello, Fine. How are you?
Alright.
That's good. I'm doing alright as well. I'm really fucking sweaty. I don't know why it's so goddamn hot in here. I even have the fucking AC on.
It's also pretty hot for on fall day over here too.
Now the stream's buffering. Took it long enough. So anyway, Elden Ring, right? It is a game that exists. Pretty popular for the most part. Fine, could you try using the Fredbot to, like, play something? I don't know if it's just because my everything is really slow right now that it's not working.
Hmm. I know. I guess just wait. Hmm. Oh no.
Do you know how to use the bot?
I know how to use the bot. You put a link in it, but I don't know what I
Okay,
should
you can't use
put in.
links. It's stopped using YouTube links now.
Okay.
So just do slash play Lanedale OST.
Okay, Lanedale.
Yeah. This is off to a
Yeah, no,
great start thus far.
no. It's fucking Fretboat is dead.
Oh, that's fantastic. I assume they have a site we can check there. Okay, Chilled's fucking mogging in chat. That's fantastic. That is
Mogul.
excellent. He's gonna moog all over the place.
I love that.
Uh,
Uh,
Fredboat, Discord bot. Are you down right
nothing.
now? You
Doesn't say
useless
anything.
fucking thing.
Doesn't say anything right now, I think.
It's apparently up.
Yeah, looks like it. Oh well.
Well, guess I'm just gonna have to tax this fucking thing even more than before. Yeah, that one from Software game about a very old ring.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like a I don't know what it has to do with the pop legend Elvis Presley. You know. No wait, different guy. Fuck.
You mean Elton John?
Yeah, that guy.
Pretty sure he was more like a rock guy than a pop guy. Not sure
Yeah,
though.
if I don't know why I thought of Elvis Presley instead of Elton John.
Nothing is loading. Wait.
Wow, opt in for the chance to get a Miss Content 1 month gift membership and access to exclusive perks.
Wow, that is an option, you know. There is that little
Wow.
membership thing underneath the thing. Yeah.
Underneath the top chat message.
Yes, indeed. God, not having any background music is very awkward. I'm just sitting here in relative silence. My television's muted. There's nothing going on. It's just dead air. And this fucking useless bot just sitting here thinking.
Television, my friend.
Hello? Music? Go fuck yourself.
Music, more like music.
So anyway,
It's
while that
software
useless
time.
shit's loading, I'm gonna try getting these bosses in order a little bit. Oh my god, it's not moving. Oh Jesus. Okay. Oh, hold on. We're moving. We got movement. Alright, so we're gonna start off just trying to move like most of the main bosses down out of the way. Just to somewhere. Because we're gonna do all of the like normal enemy field bosses first. Or the not unique bosses to some extent. Oh. God's Gonna Duo, Vorticex. Can I please play some music? Can I please?
Nah, sorry. Music calls. They want their music back.
Oh my god. There we go. Get out of here, other YouTube tab. Fuck off.
Holy shit! No
Uh,
way.
guess we can just loop this. If it will play. Is it going to play?
I don't know. It's on right now.
The bot is in here.
Yeah, but it's not playing anything. Wow, that's a bot moment right there. Certified bot moment.
This is absolutely fucking incredible. You know, whenever I try to do something, nothing works. Nothing can work. Everything must be fucking broken.
Yeah, just like that one time you completely blew up about lighting and Roll20 not working. That was funny.
That was kind of funny, yeah. I suppose that was mildly humorous. Where is
2
he?
minutes.
Where is the soldier of God?
Freak.
Where the fuck is he? He's around here somewhere. But I have some kind of disability. I'm unable to see him.
Wow, primeval demon.
There he is. I don't know why they include it. It's just, I guess, shit with unique souls. For some reason, Sekiro considers these things to be bosses. I don't know, the thing's kind of dumb. It's kind of silly. Alright, what if we tell Fredboat to leave? Get out. Go. Be gone. And then we
Wow.
play Landell Theme Extended. And it's just gonna think for... Oh my fucking
Holy
god.
shit, no way. Wait, this...
What the
None of
fuck is
these...
wrong with this thing?
None of these are anything
Landell
repelling.
OST Extended.
Ah yes, Gravity Falls. Of course. There it is.
Oh my god. Play!
Holy shit, no way.
Holy fuck, there's music.
It did it. It did it. Wow.
Finally, after almost 15 minutes, the stream's working. Fucking hell! Oh my god. Soldier of God, Rick. Let's get a fucking beast man of Faru Mazula. Let's see, how many bosses can I remember where they are?
Eastman of Far Missoula? Who's that? Is that like a guy who steals who wants to
It's a
protect
guy that's
Jack or
really
something?
bad at getting around. You know the whole, oh, you ended up in the 7th dimension of agony while trying to get to the kitchen? I'm not a clever man. He's the opposite of that. He's from the giant beast dragon city that floats around in the sky, outside of time, and somehow
Okay,
ended up in a random cave in Limgrave.
okay, I thought it was a berserk dog.
No, he's not that one.
Ah, yeah, that's Beast clergyman, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, Beast clergyman. Beastman of Far Missoula.
Where is he? Where's the flying dragon? Agil. We have the Stone Digger Troll.
Flying dragon?
Yeah,
Wow,
very
not
specific entity.
Worm face is an interesting
Demon
one.
Chief Duo. There's another one down here. I know it. I'm trying to think of it. My mind is racing. My fucking gears are turning.
Mind is racist.
No. Guardian Golem exists somewhere, I guess. We have a Grave Warden Duelist. We got a fucking, Knights Cavalry. Where are those guys? Where are those assholes? There's like 10 of them in the entire game.
Yeah. In the fourth row, yeah.
Oh, fourth row?
Yeah, I think so. On the left side? Oh no. I don't know
You're right.
how.
You're right.
Yeah. Okay. I
Um,
didn't know how accurate this still was because it's you just now on stream moved the fucking stone jagger tool. So
oh yeah, of course, stream's always like 30 seconds behind or more. And when there's internet fuckery, it's even worse.
wow, the Chainsman server sure is a funny place.
Oh yeah, that is definitely a place that exists.
At least finally the xenophobic admin got banned.
That's good. Those guys always suck. Duelist, Knight's Cavalry, Tibia Mariner. We have a Deathbird. Those are always a fun time. Actually, I suppose that's more up in Stone Hill, isn't it? Oh, whatever. We'll throw that asshole there. The Rune Bear! The greatest boss ever. Where the fuck is it? I just saw it a minute ago. There it is.
Right next to Godric.
You have a much better eye than I do. You're way better at finding these. We got patches. Oh yeah, definitely at least 3 bosses play free. Most certainly.
Top 2 bosses in Elden Ring.
Top 2
Moke.
bosses in Elden
Moke,
Ring.
Lord of Blood. Number 2, Moke, the Fell Omen.
Yep. Those are the 2 best bosses in the game. Almog. Whoops, Almog. There you go.
Now that was a Moke moment.
How are there 2.5 glintstone dragons? What? How did they quantify that? Or wait a second. Do they have more than one? Do they count both Lanciax encounters on here as separate things? Yes, they technically do. Or 1.5. That's fascinating.
1.5?
Yeah, because you initially encounter it, and then it fucks off after you take off like 10% of its health.
Yeah,
I guess they count that as more than one encounter.
1.5. The first time just they had this. Shouldn't it be 1.5 then?
That's what 1 point. Yeah, it does say 1.5. I'm just saying 1.5.
No, it should be 1.1.
Oh, you know, mathematically, yeah.
Yeah.
The delay is insane. How many minutes behind? Is Playfree in chat right now?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't. Like VC? I can't see him right now.
No, not VC.
Oh, I know he's in stream chat. I'm reading his comment.
Yeah, because I just because you only see the glints because I said Stone Trigger Troll and it, probably like fucking a minute back.
So the video is delayed from the audio?
Right now you clicked on Lanciax.
Okay. But is the audio at the same point as what I'm doing? Is there a disconnect between the audio and the video? Like a significant disconnect?
No. Between the audio and the video, no.
Okay, the stream delay is fine. OBS always has a big stream delay. You guys are just used to me streaming, like doing gaming streams, because the PlayStation streaming has like a 3-second delay. It has like nothing.
Wow.
I just haven't done one of these in a long time. You guys are not used to the usual stream delay anymore. Is there someone else around here I'm forgetting? We have a sanitary shade somewhere. Where's that scrunkly creature that Neve really likes? Here.
Yeah, the sanitary shade is in the bathroom.
Of course. Of course.
One of the DLC bosses.
Yeah, you know, that sounds about right. Let's see, where do we have our normal Erdtree avatar? There's the putrid avatar. Where's the normal one? There's like 12 of them. I cannot see anything.
Okay, Misk, I need your opinion on this.
What?
Is this a good? What do you think of this new Pokemon design?
That's so fucking stupid.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Why is a giraffe wearing like a fucking animal costume?
Okay, the original one is that it has like a smaller head as its tail,
Oh
and this
my
is like the
fuck.
new evolution where it's just
There's the
had
Erdtree avatar.
the as like a costume. And I
That
said it's
phone.
stupid, and someone said fine with bad opinions as usual. God damn it!
Maybe they're just trolling you because you usually have bad opinions and they're just like, oh ho ho ho.
Nah, I think they actually like that.
Alright, I forgot the Erdtree burial watchdogs, like, right around here. Okay. Erdtree avatar, and then the... Wait, hold on. I remember the existence of the goddamn, Ancient Hero of Zamor, which there are a few of. There's no stream delay for the chat? That's interesting. And strange.
That's slight delay. I don't think it's big.
Uh,
Oh, that's interesting.
what's interesting?
It should in the for the Discord overlay it shows the normal the general profile picture instead of the server profile picture.
Oh, that is very interesting.
Also good for you.
Yeah. What, do I have a
No,
particular...
because
Oh,
mine.
yeah, great for me. Ah, fuck. Let's see, what's the stream sitting at right now? Currently, we have 6 people in here, 4 likes. Let's get those up to the same number, shall we?
Oops.
Whoopsie daisy.
I'll give you one of those funny upside down ones. Those I like them.
Thank you. Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, it still boosts up the algorithm.
Yeah, yeah, probably.
Fucking asshole. I
Oh,
cannot
okay, okay.
remember.
Flavor forgot a comma. No, stream
No.
delay for that.
Wow, thanks. Oh,
It's
I
like
appreciate it a lot.
it's like we are eating grandpa.
I fucking... I love those. That's one of my favorite little fucking, like, grammar things ever. It's people pointing that out.
Yeah.
Okay, we've narrowed down the space so much. It has to be around here somewhere. Oh, I forgot Bloodhound Knight Direwolf. See, there's so many fucking bosses around here. It is ridiculously easy to just straight up forget about one.
Yeah, makes sense. I mean, how can you forget Godefroy the Gifted?
How could I ever forget Godfrey the Grafted? I cannot
Godefroy.
physically forget him as much as I wish I could.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we're gonna move along up to fucking Liurnia. And like that, almost half of the unique field bosses have been taken care of in the first 2 regions, because that's how the game works.
I love how the game works.
The game.
EA Sports. It's in yeah.
No, you don't get it. Someone here will get it. One day someone will understand.
Nobody understands.
And like that, I'm almost immediately forgetting basically all of the bosses around here. Um, there's not very many memorable bosses in Liurnia. Shit, we've got like the Omen Killer, I guess. There's the Crucible Spirit Collar Snail. I think there's a... Wait, no. Archery Burial Watchdog Duo is in Caelid. Yeah. Um... Oh, the Royal Revenants in Liurnia. We have a Glintstone Dragon in Liurnia. We've got, shit.
They should add a giant enemy crab as DLC.
That's a
As a
great
boss.
idea. Well, I mean, there are giant enemy crabs. You can find
Yeah, but
some in a
not
few places.
like bosses, you know.
Oh, like, yeah, we just took one and we gave it a boss health bar like usual. Yeah,
Crab King.
I like that. That's a great idea.
Actually, you know,
How did these
we
end
have
up down
Garwin
here?
as the pseudo final boss
Oh, wait. I was
of the
mistaken.
DLC, and then he just comes out. It's actually crab.
Wow, that would be amazing. I would want to die.
Mm. It gives you that spiderweb effect when you get hit
Oh, that's
from Dark Souls
lovely.
2.
I fucking love that. I can't remember where the Clean Route Knight duo is. Are they in Caelid? Because I know there's the normal Clean Route Knight in Liurnia. In that cave, like, right when you get into Liurnia. But I cannot remember, where the duo is. Well, anyway. I guess we'll move on to Caelid. Oh, wait. Aiden, the Thief of Fire. They're a guy that exists. And there's Thor's... Or, not Thor's,
Yeah,
Balls.
yeah, Stillwater
Balls!
Cave, Southern Louisiana, the Clean Road Knights.
Well, there's one Clean Route Knight.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we'll have a big crab boss, King of the Crustaceans.
Yeah.
Oh, and I forgot Crucible Knight's up in fucking Stormhill, too. Alright, Caelid. That's a place that exists. We all love Caelid, don't we? Yes, we do. We love it.
Ah, yeah. Yeah, the Clean Road, the duo is in Caleb.
Yeah, figured. Doo-doo-doo. The Burial Watchdog duos in Caelid. A lot of duo bosses in Caelid, actually.
Oh,
Funny how
yeah.
that works out.
Yeah, you know, the worst, the literal, like, wasteland, you get all dual
Canonically,
bosses.
worst place in the game has the most
Yeah,
duo bosses.
makes sense.
Fascinating. I wonder if that might be intentional on the developer's part. We have 9 people in here now. Excellent. Hello, everyone. Welcome. We're just organizing things for when shit gets started for real. I forgot the Glintstone Dragon's actually here. We got a fucking putrid avatar. We got oh, there's a falling star beast in the Celio Crystal Cave. We got Battle Mage Hugues. That's a name. Isn't that a name? There's a Magma Worm. There's a Godskin Apostle. Would I put them there? Yes, I would.
That is a massive
Yeah.
frog.
There's a big frog somewhere?
Yeah, and Pets and Animals.
Holy shit.
Massive fucking frog.
That's incredible. We got the Putrid Crystallian Trio.
Oh no.
Yeah, you thought duo bosses were bad? Let me introduce you to the fucking trio. We got Decaying Exeeks. Oh, there's a Deathrite Bird. Yep, that's where we get the first of those. Boy, this place sure does have me racking my brain, huh? There are two Crystallian duos? Are they not including the trio in here? No, it's gotta be in here somewhere. Kindred of Rot duo. We got our first Blackblade Kindred there. Wait, that's Godric, not the fucking Blackblade duo. There's the trio. There they are. Get in there, you silly goose, you.
Not tonight, silly.
Nox duo. Is that all the field bosses there? I think. I believe. Hold on, just gotta check and make sure again. Crucible Knight and Misbegotten Warrior. Of course. Then you get Fuse Champions. You get... I guess I'll put Celeria. Dr. Virgins. We got multiple demi-human queens. Stallion duos. Red Wolf of Champions. Woman Killer and Miranda. Godefroy the Grafted. Necromancer Garrus. Perfumer Tricia, Misbegotten Warrior. Sanguine Noble. The Tree Sentinel duo. The Draconic Tree Sentinel. And then... Oh wait, I almost forgot about Wormface. How could you forget Wormface?
Yeah, I like that one. It's actually creepy.
I fucking hate spoiler. I fucking hate them. They suck dick. They're the fucking worst. Uh... Let's see. We're almost entirely out of unique bosses now. Electo, Vike, Misbegotten Crusader. And there's a stray mimic tier. Yeah. Okay. Now all that's left is to get the actual bosses in order. Look at that. Isn't that incredible? Isn't that amazing? I'm gonna take a bite out of my sandwich. I made my lunch, like, before the stream started. I've barely gotten to eat any of it. Mmm. Delicious.
Wait, what you eating?
I'm eating a sandwich.
What type?
A peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Interesting. I just ate a peanut butter. No, a jelly sandwich.
Oh, I missed a few guys, it seems.
What is it? What is it? Is it? What do you call the strawberry? Is it strawberry jelly or jam? Or can you say
Here it's
both?
jelly. I forget the exact difference. I think jam has like stuff in it. It's got like actual chunks
Bits.
of
Yeah.
fruit or whatever.
Yeah. Okay. Then I just ate strawberry jam sandwich. Not sandwich, like of a bread.
Oh wow, I like totally
Bread
missed a
bread.
row here. That's crazy.
Whole row.
Great Worm Theodorix. We'll fucking put him around there. You don't get an achievement for him, so. Okay, actual bosses now. Thank God. Thank fucking God. And we're gonna try to do them in general order. More likely than not, you'd start with the Leonine Misbegotten. Then we'll put Ancestor Spirit. Then we'll put Margit, Godric. Where's my Dragonkin Soldier of Noxtella? Actually, no, Dragonkin Soldier would go probably like right after Ancestor Spirit. Noxtella, Royal Knight Loretta. Brain, Work, Red Wolf of Radigan, which is probably up around here somewhere. Yep. Then we got Renala, Magma Worm Makar, Ancient Dragon Lanciax, Elemer of the Briar. Oh, I forgot about the Onyx Lord being in, yeah, there were a couple I forgot about. Go around here. Asgar. There we go. Then, after now I get back on the car, Lanciax, Elemer. We'll put Radon. If we're gonna go based on like the supposed scaling order, then you go to Kaled after the fact. Regal Ancestor. Mimic Tier actually goes right before Regal Ancestor. The Valiant Gargoyles, my favorite. Oh, I fucking love them so much. Lich Dragon, get back up there. We'll put Moglioman. And Godfrey, the first Elden Lord, who I think a lot of people voted for on the poll because they thought I was talking about the normal Godfrey. Morgott, Godskin Noble, God Devouring Serpent.
I went for Horalu because
Yeah.
you know that's the second fight.
Right, of course, yeah. Would have still there. Yeah, then around there is when you go up there. Fire Giant. Stars of Darkness. I forgot Falling Star Beast. Full grown Falling Star Beast is around there. Spirit Collar Snail. Godskin variant. Commander O'Neill, I forgot is in Kaled. So we put him around there. And then we have these guys I forgot to move earlier. Gideon, Orlu, Moog goes around here. Loretta, Knight of the Halig Tree, Melania, Blade of Mikola, Radigan, and the Elden Beast. They don't separate them here. I think that's everyone in order. Yeah? Yeah, there we fucking go. Is marmalade a jam? Good question.
Something. Screw with you.
I'm gonna fucking eat you alive.
Nah, Nelly already has a reservation for that.
Well, fuck you. Where is the stream chat? It is not appearing. Well, that's weird. I think it did this recently. You see, essentially, this thing is a useless piece of shit. Oh, there we go. It's back now. Fantastic. You know what I should probably do? Zoom out a little bit.
Yeah.
So then I think it'll capture the whole thing. Yeah, there we go. Well, that took way too fucking long.
Yeah. I think took a bit longer.
A little longer than I fucking thought it would. Jesus Christ.
At least like 3/4 of an hour.
So now I'm in the finest of moods for this. Which is great. It's fantastic. Let's begin, if we can, with the grafted scion. This is another Vanguard situation. You're intended to die against it, thus it's way too difficult for you to reasonably deal with right when you start the game. However, I feel it's indicative of some of the, well, many of the bosses in the game, and that its moveset is kind of ridiculous. To the point of being a little bit on the annoying side. It's not the worst thing ever. I would put it like, I don't know, low enjoyable. Probably like somewhere around here. Then we have the real tutorial boss. And if you thought the grafted scion was hard, oh my god. Oh Jesus Christ. The soldier of God, Rick. This guy is one of the basic enemies you will encounter several hundred of throughout the entirety of the game. Not one of the elite knight enemies that you will encounter like, I don't know, 24 of or something. No. This guy is literally just the basic enemy that you will regularly encounter after you leave the tutorial.
Some people may even say it's a bit excessive.
It is the laziest boss. Well, arguably the laziest. I would say taking a non-boss and making it a boss is not as lazy as taking another existing boss and just actually would it. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I agree.
Is it more or less lazy?
I'd say taking an existing boss and copying that is lazier.
Yeah.
Because you actually have to make another health buff.
Also, a boss is already designed around being a boss, whereas the basic enemy is like nothing. It's literally just a random enemy, and you've decided to have its health bar take up the entire bottom of the screen. I don't think it even has buffed health or anything. I'm pretty sure it is literally just a normal soldier enemy. Ain't that something? Now we get the first real boss, the Tree Sentinel. This guy is fucking disgusting. He is really fucking hard the first time you get to him. I feel like he's mostly there to say, hey, you may want to explore around a little bit before you encounter this guy, which is kind of a general theme of the game, because Elden Ring's big defining thing is that it's a big open world that you can explore all the time without really many limitations. You can get as strong as you want or need to be before taking on a challenge. Tree Sentinel's there to show that. He is pretty solid overall. Like, all around, his moveset's pretty good. I've found recently, through fighting him, that there are various moves of his that you can avoid just from positioning, which is kind of how things used to work a lot of the time with various bosses, is that their attacks are not omnidirectional. So you can actually just stand, like, right around the horse's hindquarters, a little bit, like, towards the back on its left side or something, and a bunch of the halberd swipes will just go right over you. All in all, Tree Sentinel, I would say, is some quality. I'd put him, like, I don't know, around here or something. Next, Beastman of Furumazula. I would have a problem with this normally, because it's just an enemy in a later area, so it's like the Godric, or the Soldier Godric situation, but it is like an endgame area enemy. That's just a boss. His moveset's okay. He's alright. Nothing crazy. What do we have here? Erdtree Burial Watchdog. The variants of these differ for me. I like the first one. I like that these things are so fucking weird. their movesets are so janky. They move like robots. They move incredibly robotically. And are kind of unsettling in that regard. Now, this is something I kind of have to take into consideration that I didn't really in any of the previous games, is how many times does a boss get reused? It will not be super prevalent for most bosses, but for some of them it's a thing I have to take into consideration. There are, I guess, only 4 individual Erdtree Burial Watchdogs, so I'll put them down a little bit. They'll go, like, somewhere down around here. Mad Pumpkinhead, they're just kind of a big guy, I guess. They're kind of funny. I'll put them, like, around here. Bloodhound Knight Darrowell. Okay. So these guys don't get reused too much. I mean, like, you have a couple other normal Bloodhound Knights. Darrowell is kind of his own person. He's part of the Blythe quest line, which you may miss because you don't need to do it to do the Ronnie quest line, but it just kind of extends the overall quest line further. I would say he's very tough for where he is in the game, and he's pretty good overall. I would probably put him like around here. Next we have Flying Dragon. This one's Agheel. Okay, so I have to take both of these into consideration with this one. There's Agheel, and then there's Grail in the Dragon Barrow. I actually like Grail much more than Agheel. The reason for that is, Agheel has some issues with his arena, in which he just goes and he lands up on top of the elevated area around the lake, so you can't hit him. You can't hit him when he's up there. And you have to, like, wait around trying to bait him down and hope that he doesn't just spam fire breath attacks and kill you. That is not a problem with Grail, because you just fight him on a bridge. And it seems like his AI is way better mapped for dealing with that. Not to mention his big sideways breath attack will pretty much only ever affect half of the bridge. So you just go along that other side of it. You either go on the right or left side of the bridge, one or the other. It works way better. It's one of the few instances of, oh, this is just the same boss again, actually working better than the first time. Overall, being kind of the, what is it, the default for a lot of the dragon bosses, I would say, all in all, they're okay. They're alright. I'd put them, like, around here. Stone Digger Troll, it's a big troll, but it has big resistance to physical damage. It exists, I suppose. Demi-Human Chief Duo. They're kind of interesting as like a duo boss because it's more so just fighting a bunch of enemies, but the smaller enemies don't contribute to the boss health bar, which means they're kind of just adds. Though you can sneak up on one of the chiefs and just like instantly kill them. They are another boss that's just kind of alright, I guess. Guardian Golem, it's just the golems. Like, you will encounter these out in the field. These I hate. Not the golems themselves. I hate when there is a normal enemy you have already encountered, and then they just make one a boss. It's very different from when you have a boss, and then later on that boss becomes a common enemy. Because in this situation, we take something you've already encountered. It is not a boss enemy, and it's like, oh, what do we put in this dungeon? We'll just take one of these normal enemies and give it a boss health bar. Bravo. Very impressive. Patches. The only Patches boss fight. Ever. He's more amusing from the perspective that he's Patches than his actual fight.
Yeah,
so he's kind of boring. We'll put him like, I don't know, around here or something. Grave Warden Duelists. I like these guys. These guys are neat. They have good movesets. I'm a fan. I'll put them around here. Knights Cavalry. These guys are the fucking bane of my existence, at least on my first playthrough. There was one on the bridge in Limgrave. I fought that thing for like an hour. I wanted to die. I was going insane. These guys are like okay, but there are fucking 10 of them in the whole game. They kinda push it. They push it a little bit into the lazy territory. I mean, I know they're like a group, so there should be more than one of them. I'll fucking put them in annoying. Black Knife Assassins. They have neat movesets. That's really all I have to say about them. They're neat. We don't encounter too many of them, so they don't really suffer the same problem as a lot of the other bosses do. I'd put them like around here. Tibia Mariner. They are funny, but that's it. They're easy as piss. I'll put them like around here. They're not as cute as a Covetous Demon. Sorry. Deathbird. Okay. These guys have some interesting stuff going on, but the way that their model and hitboxes are set up, they're kind of annoying to hit. Also, they have that annoying-ass pecking shit that they do, which, not the biggest fan of. I would say these kind of go more into, like, annoying territory, for the most part. Crucible Knight. Alright, this guy is pretty tough for where he is. He's pretty difficult. He may border on a little bit too aggressive in some instances, especially the aspect of the Crucible tail thing that he does not give you like any breathing room, which is indicative of a lot of the bosses in the game. But overall, I like him. I think he's pretty solid. I especially like their stomp attacks because those are attacks that feel specifically designed for using the jump button. You know, there are attacks for dodging through, and then there are some attacks that you should jump over, and I like that. I'll put it around here somewhere. I'd say they're fairly comparable to the Seven Spears. Bell-bearing Hunter. Okay. This is basically just Elimer, but in the field. Yeah. And he only shows up at night at certain merchant locations. This guy is really interesting because he's a big knight in armor with a big sword and a big shield. You will encounter an ungodly amount of these in your journeys throughout all of these games. However, the difference is that the Bell-bearing Hunter uses telekinesis on its sword, so it is able to do sword attacks against you at pretty much any range in which you are in its aggro. And it's really cool. It's a very unorthodox take on the knight enemy. Um, and it's, you know, he's kind of it's a cool little encounter. I totally missed him on my first playthrough. But it's neat to just have this boss that shows up out of nowhere when you're just going to visit one of the merchants that you already met. I think that's cool. I would put them pretty high in quality. I would put them like around here. Here, actually. They're very good. Ulcerated Tree Spirit. They're kind of fucking annoying. I don't hate them in their entirety, because I don't think they're the hardest bosses ever, but a lot of their moves are kind of annoying, especially the big AoE they do. Yeah. Rune Bear. Fuck you. Oh, fuck you. Oh my god. Jesus fucking Christ. Do you love things that it's just all hitbox? Like every time it fucking moves around, it's just a giant hitbox. It does charge attacks that have like one frame of telegraphing beforehand. Don't you love that shit? Isn't it great? What a cancerous thing. And it's fucking lazy because you'll encounter other rune bears out in the wild. Terrible. Just terrible. We have 10 viewers and only 5 likes. If you're in here and you haven't already, hit that like button. Alright, did I remember to loop the bot? That would be a good idea. Scaly Misbegotten, it's just a fucking Misbegotten. Actually, you know what? It's not as egregious as, like Soldier of Godric, but it's still kind of bad. Cemetery Shade, they're weird, but they're also really easy, so, Erd Tree Avatars, I like these, generally as a concept. I like their use of the Asylum Demon asset. I like that they're...
Yep.
I like them as an Asylum Demon reskin. Do they get used too much? I don't know. So apparently I assume it's counting the boss encounters with the Erd Tree Avatar, because there are a few you encounter that are not bosses. There's at least one in Lanedale and one in the Deeproot Depths. I don't know if it's counting them here. I don't mind them personally. They're supposed to be the guardians of the minor erd trees, so, you know, it makes sense that there would be a few of them. I don't mind there being multiple of them. I enjoy them. I would put them probably around the Asylum Demon, because they're the same boss. They're the same entity. I'd actually probably put it a little bit above it. Yeah, I actually quite
Yeah,
like
it
them.
does have different attacks.
Miranda the Blighted Bloom. This is another instance of a boss that is a thing you have encountered before. It is an unmoving big flower that sprays out poison and then calls down light arrows on you. It sucks. It's shit. Ancient Hero of Zamora. I think these guys are cool. They are enemies later. Oh, I guess there is one that's a boss in a dungeon up in the mountaintops after you've encountered them as enemies. That's kind of lazy. But the other ones are fine. The other ones are okay. I'll put them around, I don't know, here. Yeah, somewhere around here. What am I getting notifications for? Shit I don't care about. Typical, typical. Charles Roberts says, good afternoon to you. I'm just here to support the channel and have a blessed day. I'm doing good. Well, that is very good, Charles. I'm doing pretty alright. I'm glad you're doing well as well. Schultz says, I like that each version of the Bell-Bearing Hunter focuses on different types of moves. It does? I never noticed that. I thought they all just had different scaling. They all behaved the same for me. Fascinating. Clean Route Night. You don't really... this will be a little before you encounter them as enemies in Caelid, but like... they're cool. Like, I like them as enemies, but... we'll put them a little high up here on the lazy tier. Aiden, the Thief of Fire. He's a guy. He is a Patches. With Pyromancy. Omen Killer. I've seen a funny description of Omen Killer. What if the Capra Demon was not bullshit? That's an interesting description, isn't it? Essentially, what if the Capra Demon wasn't in that fucking atrocious boss arena? So for that reason, I'd put him up somewhere around quality. I like him. I dig them. We encounter them as normal enemies, but that's quite a bit later. So, and they're not even like common normal enemies. They're just like normal enemies. Put them like around here. Spirit Collar Snail Crucible. They're a neat little puzzle thing. They'll go around here somewhere. Balls carrying night. Oh, fuck. It's another goddamn reuse. You will encounter the exact same thing in several places in the general area. Yeah. Royal Revenant. Fuck you, you stupid piece of shit. Same problems as Rune Bear. Glintstone Dragon. They're neat. Does this not count a Doula as their own separate entity? I don't think it does. They have the big ice magic sword that they summon in their mouth. They're pretty cool. I like these ones. I'll put them up around here. Crystallians, they're whatever, really. I don't care about them. Pretty unremarkable. Easy. Alabaster Lord. They're pretty cool, but don't have much going on. They're pretty easy as well. I'd put them like, yeah, I don't know, around here. Putrid Grave Warden Duelist. It's the Grave Warden Duelist, but Scarlet Rot stuff. Thus, pretty much goes in the same place, but slightly lower, because Scarlet Rot's fucking annoying.
Hello, I'll be your new co-host.
Thank God. Welcome. How are you?
I'm doing alright.
That's good. Remind me, at what point in the game did you get, before you haven't touched it in several months? You were at the Radon Festival, right?
Exactly.
Was that pre-nerf Radon?
Um, no.
Ah,
But then
interesting.
either way, I've seen enough
Well,
from either you or
yeah.
other people, or
Fortunately,
research of my own.
we have the game design expert here. This should make our co-host commentary far more interesting. No offense to Fine.
I'm I'm no expert, but thank you.
You're welcome. Now we have the Clean Route Knight duo. It's the Clean Route Knight, but there's two of them. However, I feel like these are enemies you're generally kind of meant to fight more than one of, so they're not the most egregious duo fight. As for an egregious
Yeah.
duo fight, the Erdtree Burial Watchdog duo fucking sucks. It's shit. It's really bad. Putrid
From what
Avatars? Yeah,
Yeah, from what I remember of the Clean Rot duo, they were I think the thing I didn't like, they were when you fought in the cave, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really like the arena. Felt very compressed, but at the same time, if it was any bigger, they probably would have been a much easier fight.
Yeah.
So they're like, to make it more difficult, just condense the space down.
The design philosophy of Elden Ring. How do we make it more difficult?
Put it in a cave.
Put it in a
Make it
cave.
suck.
Put more than one of them. Don't put anything that allows you to separate them. The,
Surround them in like annoying rot.
the putrid avatar. What if we took the relatively neat Erdtree avatars and we just made them fucking shit? They're annoying.
We made it just harder.
We just made them harder with Scarlet Rot buildup and fucking ass slam splash attacks that have really inconsistent ranges and sometimes don't land on the ground right around it, but then sometimes do.
Yeah. I just see. I don't know if you rated it yet. Where did you put the base surgery avatar?
I
Or
put
did you not
it around here in enjoyable, around wherever the
Yeah.
asylum demon is, because they're the same.
Yeah.
They're the same
I'd
enemy.
agree with putting putrid and annoying.
Yeah. Yeah, I put them a little up over here because they have a little bit more going on than the normal asylum demon. They got like those magic things that I think are neat. Falling Star Beast. I think these are pretty solid. I like them. Their design's interesting and unique. Their moveset is something you have to get used to because it it's a thing that you're not really used to fighting. You fight so many humanoid enemies in this game that something
To
like
get
the
something
Falling
like
Star
that,
Beast
yeah.
is just very strange. And it uses gravity magic in ways that you don't see most other things use gravity magic. They're very unconventional. However, the full-grown version gives me a little bit more to talk about because it's the full version. I would put these somewhere in quality. I think they're pretty good.
Yeah, somewhere enjoyable or quality. For me, I haven't really, I haven't really seen too much of them, mostly because the videos I have seen of Falling Star Beast, people just absolutely cheese it. I think it was when the I'm forgetting the sword, the one that shot the big magic beam.
Oh, my Sword of Night and Flame.
Yeah, Night in Flames, when that was the absolute meta.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only experience I have with those.
You know, I'm kind of glad about some of the nerfing of things because now I actually just play the game as opposed to spamming Bloody Slash. Still embarrassed for how that Let's Play ended off. Well,
as you should. Disgust.
Battle Mage Hyugyus. They are incredibly unremarkable. Yeah, somewhere around here, I don't know. Magma Worm. These guys, personally, kind of border on annoying. Especially because they spend half the boss charging around the arena, and they're one of those enemies where when they do their big charge, their whole fucking body turns into a hitbox, and they leave lava trails.
I think the first time I fought the Magma Worm, I thought, okay, yeah, this is pretty good, like in the, actually, no, not the first time. When I fought a Magma Worm Makar.
Yeah, who is
I was
on
like,
here is his own entity.
That was pretty good because of how large the arena was. It had decent versatility. But then I fought the one in the cave next, which should be the one you fight first.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not good.
So there's the one in the cave, which is an incredibly enclosed arena, which makes it annoying. Then you have the one up in Mount Gelmir, which is in an open area, but it just fucking charges around everywhere.
For me, I didn't really have that, from what I remember. So, Yeah, I'd probably put the Magworm somewhere like in a higher boring,
Mm,
most or annoying, I guess.
I'll put them upper annoying. They can be alright sometimes.
Yep, that's not good enough
Yeah. Godskin
because they had
Apostle. The lone Godskin Apostle. We have two. Both of them are good. Both of them have very different scaling. One gives you like 12,000 runes. The other one gives you fucking 90,000. You have the one up in the Windmill Village and the one at the bottom of the Kaled Tower. These
I'd say the
guys,
Windmill Village one really carries it. The atmosphere building up to it
yeah,
is great.
it is fantastic because Dominula's creepy.
Mm-hmm.
This thing's moveset is really solid. I like the Phase 2. I like that the Godskin are weird in a way that's like kind of funny because it's a video game. But like if this were an actual thing, it would be the most horrifying thing you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah, you just watch someone's midsection just.
Turns into a tube
Yeah, like,
sock, flailing
yeah,
around
no,
everywhere. I think these guys are pretty quality.
I agree.
I'd put them up around here. I dig them. Decaying Exikes. What if we took... I liked Exikes until the recent stream and the new playthrough. Oh my
And now you're
fucking
like, never
god,
mind.
it just kept spamming the fucking AoE cloud. Which I cannot tell what the range of it is.
Oh, that thing.
Whatever the range is, it's too big. Very annoying.
Yeah.
Deathrite Bird. Okay,
Listen, you
so...
can't get every dragon right, you know?
You can't. The Deathrite Bird is a more complete version of the Death Bird. These things seem to vary a bit. I think they lean a little bit more into annoying, but they have some interesting, and at sometimes good aspects to them. Tater says he dog walked you, Misk. Fuck you. Fuck you.
You got abs.
I
God
did get
damn.
absolutely dog walked by X-Ikes. That doesn't make it any less bullshit. It's still bullshit. Fuck you.
Wait, you cried?
Deathrite Bird, he's cool. He's cool, I guess.
They're a guy.
They're a
Or
guy.
gal.
The weapon you get from the one in Kaled is absolutely disgusting. It is so broken. I can't believe it hasn't been nerfed yet. Maybe that's because it doesn't get used much in PvP. You just move out of the way of the trail. Just don't walk over there.
Yeah.
That's probably why. But against like various bosses and enemies, oh, it's disgusting. Kindred of Rot duo. What if we took these normal enemies and we put two of them in a small cave? Putrid
Lovely.
Crystallian trio, same shit. Nox duo, same shit. So they're pretty easy. Crucible Knight and
Love
Misbegotten
duos.
Warrior, same shit.
Love duos, you know?
Fia's Champions, the Simp Squad. They're boring. They're like hilariously easy.
Yeah.
Ignore the fact that I got killed by fucking Roger one time. Don't acknowledge that.
Do you give him simp points? No.
Crucible Knights
This-
Celeria. They're cool, I guess. I mean, like the individual Crucible Knights are neat. Celeria, I'd put a little bit lower because I think some of their range and aggression are a little questionable.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Abductor Virgins. What if we took this existing thing and we put two of them in a room together?
Oh my god, duos? No way.
No way.
No way. It's the Elden Ring
The
classic.
Demi-Human Queens. I encountered one like a stream or two ago. I literally fucking killed it before it finished standing up. It's boring. Actually, no.
Lovely.
Goes below Covetous because it's not cute. And it's not as funny as Tibia Mariner.
Yeah,
Crystallian
man,
Duo.
it does have a bit of humor, though. I'd say it's wouldn't go that high for me.
Crystallian Duo. What if we took the thing and we put 2 of the
Two.
thing.
No way.
So this is probably the point at which I should start addressing the what if we took this thing and we put 2 of them in a room together. Elden Ring is a fucking gigantic game, and I guarantee you they probably just literally couldn't think of more things to make, and also making games is time consuming and expensive. So,
Yeah, plus they, even without all the duos, they still have an ungodly amount of bosses.
oh yeah, I mean, most of the things on here are individual entities, even if you encounter more than one of them.
Yeah.
There's like a what is it? There's like 80 something different boss entities.
And then like over 100 something total.
I believe there's
Hello,
over
Chilled.
200 bosses, including repeats. Hello, Chilled. How are you? How you doing? Well, he's here, I guess.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
Sniffing out, you know? I think they're dead. What a tragedy.
Yes, Heavenly, 2 is better than 3. 2, what's better? 2 things with aggro attacking at the same speed, or 3 things with aggro attacking at the same speed? I fucking wonder. Which
Well,
one is
listen,
better?
3 of something could always be done really well. Mantis
Okay.
Lords.
Okay, but Mantis
I know.
Lords are designed around you fighting multiple enemies at the same time.
Exactly. So they just need to design them around being 3 of them.
What an
So what
ingenious
boss are we
idea.
on about now?
Your mom.
Wow! Let me move the...
Genie.
Yeah, there we go. Now the stream overlay is over that. Yeah, that looks better. Or the Discord overlay. Yes, good, good. 2 is better than 3 in this situation. Red Wolf a champ. It's the fucking Red Wolf again.
Yeah.
It's lazy.
Red Wolf was pretty cool, but
Red
you
Wolf
know,
is cool, but
being
it's
Red
just-
Wolf of Champions, it's
It's the same boss. Blackblade Kindred. Okay, so like the normal individual gargoyle enemies are pretty good. That's what these guys are, but they've got the destined death power.
yeah.
The one outside of Malekith's arena. Oh, what's it called?
Garank's,
Garank's arena is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when I first got it, I'm like, is this an enemy? And then it stood up. Yep. And then I ran away.
Really
would
tough
put
fight as
it-
well.
Somewhere around here, honestly. They're very solid. Somewhere up in upper quality.
Yeah.
Omen Killer, what if we took 2 different things that you've encountered multiple of
way.
before, and we
No
put them in the same
way.
arena?
It just doesn't work.
It just... No, the Omen Killer and Miranda is honestly just boring. It's really fucking uninteresting.
Yeah, you beat him in like less than a minute.
Isn't the arena as well like really poor?
It's a cave. A
Great.
cave.
Love caves, you know, the
Oh,
most aesthetic
boy.
areas.
My favorite boss.
Go
for the grafted.
Yo, guess what? You're getting another edition to Clears the Bible, baby.
Oh my
Oh my
fucking god. So
Ugh.
what if
Go
there
for
was
it
a
is
guy?
so bad. He lost to a Spear Ash.
He lost to a fucking random Dragon Knight. What if we took a unique region boss encounter and we just took its first phase and we made that the entire boss without any of the build-up, atmosphere, arena, music, or personality?
Yeah, just lazy.
Oh, he wish he was Godric the Goated.
Fucking hell. Oh my god. That is like the... I would say that actually is the most egregious reuse in the game. Not even Stars of Darkness. Because it seems like there's more than one of the Astel creatures, so I could buy
'cause at least
encountering more than
lore-wise,
one.
There's multiple Astels.
But
Yeah.
there's another guy related to Godric who has the same epithet, who grafted body parts onto himself in the same exact fucking style, pattern,
just copy
shape,
that, you
has
know?
the exact same weapons, including one that was specifically made for Godric and is literally just exactly the same. Holy shit.
It's not even Phase 2 Godric, it's the easy version.
Oh my
It's the Beyblade.
fucking god. Like, Oh, I'm trying to think of a good comparison here. Let's take Dark Souls 1, for example. Let's do that. You fucking fight, I don't know, Sif, right? You fight Sif. And then later on, when you're in, like, I don't know, the Duke's Archives or something, there's just another Sif there. But it has, his name's, like, Biff or something.
Beth.
Great Grey Wolf Biff. And there's just not, it's just like, oh yeah, this is a Sith's pet dog. Yeah. Fuck you.
Hello, I'm Godfrey.
She.
Oh my god. Necromancer Garrus is just a guy. The snails are kind of annoying, but for the most part it's just another random humanoid enemy.
The
A
worst
random
part
NPC
about this
enemy.
boss fight is the
As in
snakes
that
in it.
they're just a guy, you know. Clearly, that means they're just bitch level.
They are bitch.
Bitch.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, the worst part about his boss fight is just the snakes, because
The
they roll at
snake
you.
snails are really annoying. Perfumer Tricia, Miss. What if we took?
Oh my god, no way.
What if we took this thing and we just made more than one of them? Isn't it depressing how many bosses in this lazy tier fucking Elden Ring bosses? Oh.
I don't really think so. I mean, it's the
Miyazaki
largest
was
game they've
feeling
Yeah,
made.
you know, that
Great.
does make sense, yeah.
Miyazaki was
Wormface,
feeling
annoying.
creative. I hate the grab. Other than that, they're not so bad.
Sanguine Noble is a guy you've encountered one of before. You'll encounter a couple more. Pretty unremarkable. Pretty easy.
Get a good weapon. That's
my
about
God.
it.
Is that what I think it is up next?
Oh no. The Crucible Knight Duo.
Yeah.
What if we took the normal Crucible Knight
Make two of them.
and we took the Tree Crucible Knight and we put them both in the same boss arena with pillars, but they can destroy the pillars.
Oh my god,
Bosses like
atmosphere.
this are why spirit summons on them.
Pillar level entities.
Now, these are definitely... I feel the spirit summons almost exist just to make the duo bosses bearable. I feel like that is almost the case. Because if I tried doing this without my boy Oleg, oh, we would have been there for 2 hours. I would have had a fucking aneurysm. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh. So bad. Now the Tree Sentinel duo are okay. Because first off, it's another case with some of the other enemies where, yeah, there will be more than one of these. Like, they're an order of knights. The other reason, you can fight them one by one. Crazy, I know.
You can't see I'm pogging right now.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is really, absolutely outstanding game design. I'd put them, like, low on the quality tier. Because they're just the Tree Sentinel again. But you can fight two of them at the same time
And
or
one doesn't
separately if
have
you
the
so
shield.
desire. The Onyx Lord, they are just... I'm pretty sure they are almost exactly the same as the Alabaster Lord. They're kind of
It's
boring.
just an alabaster lord that can use more meteorites.
They're just a guy.
Yeah, they are a guy that exists.
He's just a random guy blocking Brightheart's power.
Oh, the Draconic Tree Sentinel. Oh my god. Okay. So he can
Hey,
attack
this
you at any
guy-
The
range.
tree sentinel, and we just make it summon lightning.
We make it... Its horse can breathe fire, somehow.
Dragon Communion.
Dragon Communion, I guess. That seems to be what they're
Yeah.
doing. His attacks hit you like a train. All of his attacks that hit the ground have an AoE shockwave. And when he gets to phase 2, he imbues his weapon with lightning, which then adds lightning onto his normal damage and lightning to the shockwave, which now means it does like twice as much damage.
He gets a lot of sweep attacks.
He has a lot of sweep attacks. He can summon down lightning, one of which there are two variants. Okay, so he has like kind of a general lightning around himself to make you go away from him. That has fine, telegraphing to it. You are shown where the lightning's going to strike. If you get far enough away from him, he will call down a lightning strike on you specifically, an orbital strike. There are two variants of this. There is one that you just dodge, and you'll be fine, because it strikes once. Then there is one that strikes 3 times within about half a second. The dodge timing on this is absurdly precise.
I love iframes.
What's it called? The Falling Star Beast has a very similar kind of move, but that's a bit more forgiving.
Because it tells you where it's going to be. So you can just kind of run out of it. I think I've successfully dodged that, like, once. The Draconic Tree Sentinel could be a very good challenging boss, but it's dragged down by that fucking lightning strike. It's so obnoxious.
This is why you just use the poison mist cheese.
This is why I always summon Tragoth now that I know he's there. He goes down from being quality to kind of annoying, honestly. Upper
Yeah,
annoying, but...
And also, probably if it was just one Draconic Tree Sentinel, I'd fine, but then like, there's, you know, a bunch of them scattered about.
Well, I think there's only one up in Furamazura.
One right before Malachus boss fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's
And that's
actually...
where you get the armor.
There's fortunately less of them than there are the normal tree sentinels, which is the way it should be. And you only ever encounter one as a boss, so it's fine. Esgar's a normal NPC boss, but he has blood, and there are blood dogs in there, which pushes it into annoying.
Isn't he in like the
He's in the
one
Langdell
dungeon
Catacombs.
that loops over?
Yeah, it does. It's kind of weird. The place where I was under the impression I was going to find Moog for like an hour.
He's somewhere in here.
He's beginning to moog.
It's Mogan time.
I love Mogan. Well, not Mogan time yet. It's Moog relative in time with the Fell Twins. God.
Don't
I
tell
like
me.
the arena for these two.
The arena's neat. It's kind of creepy. So
But don't tell me. Yo, what? What's this boss all about? No way.
So if you've been through the subterranean shunning grounds, and even before then, you've encountered some of these omen enemies. There are 2 variants of them, one that has a big axe and one that has a big scimitar. You have likely encountered maybe up to 4 of them at one time. In this instance, the developers thought, what if in this mysterious magical black void, you encountered 2 of them?
At the same
Wow.
time?
At the same exact time.
No way.
They are not as egregious as the other duos because it seems like their aggro isn't as extreme. You will have times when
Yeah.
one of them just stays away from you.
Yeah, they're spawned very far away from each other, so you can take out the first
Yeah.
axe guy, and then the guy with the swords come after you.
Electo, Black Knife Ringleader. They are the Black Knife enemy, but they have the fucking Malekith anime attack. So I'd put them like around wherever I put the other one here. Borealis, the Freezing Fog. They're like X-Ikes, but with ice. Thus, go fuck yourself.
I like the arena, that's it.
Yeah. Oh, you know, that was the funniest thing in the Let's Play. I'm going on to this big frozen lake. I don't tell you we're gonna encounter... I was like, wouldn't it suck if there was like another dragon reskin out here, and like not even 30 seconds later the fucking health bar shows up?
And you're like, oh boy.
Oh
This
my
will be a
god.
good time.
Roundtable Night Vike. He is the same.
This
Story significance
Viking
to
time.
Vike. You encounter as an Asian guy earlier, but yeah. Stray Mimic Tier, it's just Mimic Tier again. Did it place? It did! Yay! Misbegotten Crusade, it's the fuck you. Go to hell.
It's the guy with the Golden Order Great
Kiss
Sword.
my ass. Great Worm Theodorix. He is absurd.
Oh yeah, it's
That,
just, so
that
you,
move is a bit ridiculous.
you're getting all these bosses out of the way, and then you're gonna get to the actual boss. That's funny.
Yeah, now we get to the actual bosses.
Oh yeah, here we go.
This would have been
Or-
the most boring video ever if this was an individual video, just for these guys. He kind of steeps into the annoying territory, not gonna lie. Okay, We're finally here at the real bosses now, everyone. Like the stream for for us getting through all of the field bosses.
What if I don't want to?
Well, I'm gonna kill you.
Wow.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah, you encounter 2 of the Fell twins, but one has to check his email before he helps his brother. Exactly. Yeah, and
Get this email from
if you
this.
guys haven't already, vote in the poll I have linked in the description. The boss poll. I want to see what the people think about the various bosses. So, the Leonine Misbegotten. Maybe the first trophy awarding boss you will encounter in the game.
They're pretty easy, but I gotta say, I thought they were pretty fun.
Their moveset's
They had
pretty solid. They got a good
pretty
arena.
solid moveset. They were fast. There was
it's
not a
nice
restricted
hidden
arena.
boss.
Yeah. For the
Like
context of
these-
being a boss you fight early on,
Yeah.
they're pretty good.
Yeah, like the Misbegotten, you take him on. It's a good idea to take him on before Margit. I think
Yeah,
he's a good boss.
I think so. They're pretty solid. As like, you are not ready to handle the demigod goat man. Go fight this random lion thing with a sword.
Plus I quote unquote build up of a sense of you having to fight through an entire fortress, and then you get to him at the end
Yeah.
on an
it's
island
good.
apart from it.
An island graveyard, and you get the big Game
Yeah.
of Thrones sword from him.
I'd either put it like low quality or high enjoyable.
I put it somewhere in enjoyable. They're like
Yeah.
mid enjoyable compared to a lot of the other bosses.
But that is compared to a lot of the other bosses. That is true.
Though I wonder why they didn't have the grafted blade when the Misbegotten Crusader gets to use the Golden Order Greatsword, where this one just uses
It's
a
kind of
normal-
a shame that they don't do that.
Yeah, I thought that it had it, and then when I fought him again, I'm like, oh, I guess he doesn't. That's weird. Ancestor Spirit.
Yeah.
Love ambience.
It's a boss that's all ambience. That's
All
it.
ambience, and that's it. I don't know. I'd put it like low enjoyable. That's really it. Or maybe high boring. Somewhere there. It's just got a lot of ambience. It's really cool.
I'll put it
The
low
OST is really
enjoyable.
nice.
Lower in the enjoyable.
Pure design wise, the ancestral spirit is great, but
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
a boss, it's not difficult.
The Dragonkin Soldier. I like these guys. They got a cool design. Their movesets are not bad. At least the one in Shifra, you can ride around on Torrent.
Shifra is okay, and
I
the
have
one in the Lake
never
of Rot
fought
is
the
not
one in the
good.
Lake of Rot. I have never fought it.
It's basically a boss that you have to try and fight as quickly as possible.
I no likey that. But I didn't fight them, so I take
You
that
just
into
gotta go-
consideration?
No.
You can take it into consideration even though you've never fought it. Just think of it as the same fight, but you have to deal with the Lake of Rot.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I feel like the experience you have just with Scarlet Rot and all that, you could probably get a good picture of yeah, now it's just in this big lake of rot.
Not
It
to mention,
goes down.
the arena is small,
Yeah, oh, fucking hell.
because there's multiple islands, but
I'd say it's
You're
good on
divided
its
up by a
own,
rock.
generally. I'll put it like around fucking, I don't know, here. I'll put it low enjoyable. It'd be up higher if it weren't for that one. Margit, the Fell Omen. Okay. So,
That's a top quality
Amazing.
boss.
I agree that's a top quality boss. I'm not sure.
he's like the best intro boss you can fight.
So, how high do I put him? Would I put him top of top quality?
No, I would need to see what you have.
We got
up there.
Interganichiro, Dancer
we'll
of the
get to
Boreal
this.
Valley.
The stream will catch up eventually.
The stream will catch up in 10 minutes.
But yeah, but I think also one of the things that makes them better is that they work really well as the first quote unquote not tutorial boss,
Yeah,
but like
I'd
the
say
first
that's
main
actually-
boss.
Yeah.
Because of the fact it's like, hey, guess what? This is an open world game. You wouldn't need to just keep slamming yourself against the wall.
It was funny.
They
I've been watching a few videos critiquing the boss design in Elden Ring, and there was one in which the person said Margit could be comparable to the likes of the Asylum Demon and Udex Gundyr, and I fucking laughed. No, the fuck he is not.
Nah.
This guy is like the Bell Gargoyles of this
Yeah.
game.
He's got
Margit is like Gascoigne, but done better.
He's got
A little,
a
yeah.
highly aggressive moveset, and he's not this impassable wall. And guess what? If it's a wall you can't get over now, just go back. Return in like an hour after farming some sheep.
Plus, you get rewarded for exploring with the Margit Shackle.
Indeed, indeed
Exact.
you do. I understand some of the criticisms of Margit, and that he has like 17 different combos. He has some combos he will only do if you get up close to him and try to attack him, essentially try to punish him, like you
Skill
usually
issue.
are supposed to do with bosses. um, Thus,
Sorry, skill
it
issue?
kind of discourages being very interactive with the boss. But oh, and the delayed attacks. Yes, some of them do seem a little bit beyond reason, but it's a video game.
Margit's biggest issue is he's got too much for such an early boss. Like, his moveset is so diverse and
I
very
think
reactive to the player.
he is so fucking absurd in just how complex of a boss he is for how early he is in the game, that once you beat him, that's basically the game saying, yeah, you should be fine. You should be fine for like the rest of the game.
Congrats, Elden Ring. It
It's
took going
pretty
through
funny
all of
how-
your field bosses. You got your first top quality.
Fucking
pretty
hell.
funny how
To be
Margit is
fair,
more
it's
difficult
quite
than Godric.
it's good that the first like
The first
actual
major
story
boss.
boss is the
Yeah.
first top quality.
Yeah, it's a good sign.
It's a very
It's
good
pretty
sign.
funny.
Speaking of top quality, and maybe above, we have Godric the Grafted. So Godric,
Godric.
basically, you show up and everyone's like, you should go kill Godric, he's weak, he sucks.
He sucks.
He's decrepit, he's the weakest of the demigods, even though after the fact you're told he's not really a demigod, actually. He's like related to demigods.
He's like 1/10.
He's 1/10. He's 1/32nd Native American.
I would say if the fight was a bit more difficult, I'd probably put it up to peak. But like, seeing, yeah, as you said, he's weak. He was pretty easy. I mean, comparable to Margit, like you fight
He is
Margit and
easier
then
than
you get this
Margit,
guy.
yeah.
I'd probably
Yeah,
put top, still
Now,
high top
the
quality.
thing
you know?
is-
See through that.
I think Godric has less of the potential problems that Margit does, though he is easier.
That is fair.
But I think his whirlwind attack is a little questionable. Because basically, he finishes doing an attack, if he stands still for like half a second, I'm like, I'm running away. Because I don't know if he's about to do it or not. It's, I do agree that it seems to be kind of a general problem with a lot of the bosses, is that a lot of them are hyper aggressive, or they have attacks that are very difficult to dodge, and are
And then
basically
there's also
impossible to dodge
delay.
if you're attacking, and the delays. Though I think Godric's delays are better than Margit's.
That is
Godric
true.
also has a lot of good use of the mechanics because he's got the earth shaking effect, so you can jump.
Right.
Whereas you've also got moves where you can dodge instead.
And then we get Phase 2. The funniest, most ridiculous Phase 2 ever.
Yeah.
I love that scream so much. It's so funny. Ah! I'm gonna cut my own fucking hand off. And then just slap a dragon head on there. As you do. And then he has a flamethrower. Oh, and I should mention, the OST for this boss is fucking fantastic. It's
That is
outstanding. Overall,
It's weird how if you attack the dragon head, he still transitions into phase 2 straight away.
if you go into the boss arena and you hit the dragon head, he just immediately does phase 2.
He's like, how dare you?
Hey, only
value
I'm
is too
allowed to
much.
fucking damage the shit out of this thing. Here, I'm gonna rip it off of its body.
I gotta say, my first time playing against Godric, he did the command grab that scared the shit out of me.
Oh yeah, the command grab's quite something. My cat just knocked my fucking sandwich off the table. Why would you do that?
You
It
should.
wants it for itself.
I mean, listen.
What the fuck is your problem? Oh, why would you do that?
They're clearly begging to be the meal now.
No, it's not even quarter of 2. What the fuck do you think you're doing?
But yeah, Godric, I put it high top quality, but
I
I
would
can
as well.
understand if you would put it in peak.
Hmm.
It's very close to peak, but it's just missing something. Something some other bosses later on have.
I think he doesn't have quite the grandeur, the spectacle, even though he has quite a bit of spectacle. I
Yeah.
don't think he has it to the same extent as some other bosses do.
He definitely lacks grandeur. Then again, that makes sense.
That
Scott-
doesn't
he's
make
kind of a
him
bitch.
grand. Yeah.
Yeah. I would put him up here with Margit. They're pretty comparable to each other in my opinion. I both
When you
like 'em a
kill
lot.
him, when you see Gostok stomping on his head afterwards,
Oh,
that's
it's
pretty
great.
good as well.
So Dragonkin Soldier of Noxus is just the complete version of the Dragonkin Soldier. He's got all the cool shit, but then he's got a phase 2 in which he sprouts his wings and he starts doing the Frost Lightning, which we have coined Flash Freeze.
It's a really good boss, but it's got such a low amount of health.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's not that tanky. I would put it like upper quality somewhere.
See, personally, I feel like you could swap the ancestral spirit with the Dragonkin Soldier, and that would be a lot more fitting.
I could see that.
I'd put him up there. High quality. My cat is now going to make as much noise as humanly possible, fucking around with the blinds in here.
Cat moment.
Yeah, stupid.
She wants to go out on the patio so bad. I'm not letting you out there. You almost jumped through the fucking screen trying to get a bird yesterday. You stupid little creature.
You.
Royal Knight Loretta, pretty solid, but there is just literally a better version of Loretta later. So
I just put that in enjoyable. When
yeah,
I
would.
fought it, it was just enjoyable.
They're
you
very
know? It was cool.
comparable to Corrupted Monk, and they're actually like the same deal as Corrupted Monk, and that this is a ghost projection of a boss you fight later. Red Wolf or Radigan, they're cool, I guess.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say they're as good as Loretta, but yeah.
They're not.
yeah, they're another enjoyable boss.
Yeah.
That's really it.
You will see a few of them on the field later as well.
Yeah. Renala of the Full Moon. Okay. From like a story perspective, a lore perspective, a
much
visual
higher.
perspective, they're very
I-
good.
Put them in quality just because of that. The
Yeah.
gameplay, obviously, it's enjoyable.
But it's not anything.
In phase 1 and 2, it's not anything special. However, the narrative that the fight is telling of someone that is a shell of their former self because of how broken they've become.
I'll put them lower
From
on the
their loss.
quality tier.
Yeah.
Phase 2 is technically you fighting Ronnie.
It is. It
Yeah.
is. So Magma Worm Makar. You take the
Ronnie's
Magma Worm.
memory of them.
You put it in a bigger arena. It's got a phase 2, even though I think the one in Mount Gelmir also has the phase 2 where it buffs its sword, and you can
You
just kind of
just-
attack it.
It's just better Magma Worm.
It's
That's what it is.
better Magma Worm, because it's a named Magma Worm that's not Theodoric's.
If you think about it, when it starts using the sword, it's like a very shallow Ludwig.
A very shallow Ludwig with none of the impact of Ludwig.
Yep.
We'll put them around there and enjoyable. Mid-enjoyable. Ancient Dragon Lanciax. They're good. They're solid.
Yes. Lanciax is cool. The glaive attack is very interesting.
Though they did piss me off a little recently with them fucking spamming their fire breath. That aside, I'd say they're pretty decent.
She lost the. Yes, we're going top quality. We're not top quality, please. She lost the top quality spot in the divorce. That's pretty fun.
Oh my god! Oh, fuck.
I mean, we'll get to that later, but I would like I know you'll probably, because you tag them together, and you'll probably drag it a little lower. I'm gonna put a little argument for putting the final boss a bit higher.
That's gonna
I
be
got
interesting.
some. So Elimer is literally the same exact boss as the Bellbearing Hunter. I don't think there are any differences that I'm aware of.
No, it's literally just the same guy.
He's a cool guy. I like him, but he doesn't really have anything
He's
else.
not red.
He's not red. Even then, Bellbearing Hunter's not always red. He goes in the same spot because he's literally the same entity. With no differences. Commander O'Neill. The guy himself really doesn't have much going for him. A lot of his attacks do Scarlet Rot buildup, which is kind of annoying. And then he has the summons. He's kind of boring.
They're a guy.
They're a guy that exists, I suppose. Wait, I meant to put him up there. Yeah, there we go. Now, Star Scourge Radahn.
One
This
of the
guy-
only bosses I've ever seen. They get a cutscene, not like before the boss fight, but before the boss fight.
Before, not
Before
a
you even get in
not
the
an
arena.
intro cutscene. This is a fucking backstory cutscene of a guy there being like, yeah, Radahn is something. Let me tell you. Literally,
Yep.
let me tell you.
Peak.
You have
Jaren is his hype man.
you have the various references to him ahead of time. Basically, the entire Caelid region is about Radahn and Melania. You hear about the Radahn festival through Alexander, like at least once prior to getting there.
Mm-hmm.
You find out about it through Ronnie's quest line. Oh yeah, he's the guy that controls the stars. Like he just stops the stars from moving. You get to
Fiction.
Redmane Castle. You have fucking Jiren doing the hype speech for the festival. You got all your boys out there waiting for you. Then you
All
get the
your
fucking backstory cutscene.
And then you have Leonard.
And then you have Leonard. Oh, Leonard.
Oh, we love Leonard.
You silly
Yeah.
creature, you. You go out, you go to the fucking Wailing Dunes with maybe the most cinematic boss entry ever. Like the visuals for this fight.
Yeah, you dropping down.
He's a silhouette through the fog, firing these purple gravity arrows at you,
and then
which are
phase
literally
two,
giant spears.
You know?
You summon all of your boys. You are leading an army to fight him.
And he's clapping the army's ass.
He's kicking the shit out of you and your friends. Then phase
You've
2
got
happens.
some of the strongest guys
He-
in there as well.
He leaps up into the fucking stratosphere. I assume it's him going up that clears away everything to reveal the night sky, and then he comes down as a fucking meteor that does like 11,000 damage. I'm not exaggerating either. He one-shots so many things. And the music, it's wonderful. It is a grand OST. And you finally put him out of his fucking misery.
I'm just reminded of when I was fighting him. The one when he just has the 4 boulders around,
Oh yeah.
and then he throws them. I go, "It's coming." Do nothing, and then just get hit. And I'm like, "It's coming." I just didn't react, and I got slapped. I'm like, "Yep,
Oh, that's funny as shit.
yeah." But yeah, peak fiction.
He's a peak, yeah,
Um,
unquestionably.
It doesn't clear the Bible.
No,
I don't think any boss in Elden Ring clears the Bible. Some get close.
I
no.
would probably agree.
Because to clear the Bible, you gotta be something. Yeah, you gotta look at that and be like, God damn, that God's trying to be on this level.
I know, right?
But yeah,
Radahn's
Star's
very
pretty
peak.
yeah, they are peak.
Mimic
put that-
Tier is a neat
Is a guy.
concept.
They're a neat concept. I love that you could just
You can take off all
strip
of your
naked,
clothes and your
and then
weapons, and then you just
But
beat up
it
a
was-
naked hobo.
but of course, you fight him as intended, which is you don't know. He's like, oh, I wonder what's behind here, and then it's you.
He's alright.
The
He's
best
like
thing
low
about
on the
Mimic
enjoyable
is
tier.
just stripping down and use nothing but Acestus.
Just down and enjoyable. Well,
Yeah,
enjoyable.
but
Regal Ancestor is
just
the
better
Ancestor
ancestor
Spirit.
spirit.
Now he's better than Ancestor Spirit, but he's an asset reuse.
That
He's a
is
silly
true.
thing.
He is the
I like
same
it when it
thing
starts
with some
glowing.
more moves.
It's same thing but better. but
true.
it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Just put it right next to ancestors.
Yeah, that's
It's
that's what
positives and negatives. Just make it the same.
yeah.
It cancels out.
Valiant Gargoyles. I don't need to fucking.
Awful,
I
ungodly.
don't need to say anything.
Honestly, I hate the Valiant Gargle Wheels more than the Godskin Duo.
Let's see. Actually, where did I put the fucking Where did I put those fuckers? That Crucible Knight duo. You go below Crucible Knight duo.
God, oh God, they're terrible.
Actually, no, they go slightly above because you can theoretically kill one before the other one shows up.
But oh, the Valiant Gargoyles.
So
There,
fucking bad.
there's something.
Lich Dragon
They are
Force
terrible.
Axe is cool as fuck. They're very
They
cool.
are.
Top
Forsac
quality
suffers
somewhere
from the
here.
same issue as the Dragon King Soldier. Not a lot of health.
Yeah. Also, if you want to fight him by attacking his head, it's usually just kind of out of reach, which makes it a little bit annoying. Otherwise, you just have to like hit at his ankles and stuff, which isn't the most interesting thing ever. But he's so fucking cool.
It is.
I
true.
love how evil his theme is.
His theme is
I
quite
love
something.
killing a guy by hacking away at his ankles.
He's definitely top quality. I don't think he's as high as Godric or Margit, though. I used to have him higher than
No.
Godric, but I don't think so anymore. Like, having fought them again recently,
Yeah.
I think Godric works better mechanically.
What if you put two in the same? I know, heavenly. It's the Valiant Gargoyle. It's crazy.
That's weird. I thought I told it to repeat the track. What if we restart the track? What then? The application did not respond?
Huh.
That's
Strange.
bad. That's kind of an issue.
Fascinating.
Play Lanedale OST. Is the fucking bot broken again?
Oh.
The application did not respond. Fucking Fredboat's down again. That's great.
Right.
What do you play? Because it doesn't even say that you're typing for me.
Yeah, because it only shows me.
No.
My cat must play with the blinds. She must make noise. As much
Do it.
noise as possible. I
Typical
know I
cat
had
stuff.
fine trying to activate the music bot earlier and it wasn't working for him. I think Fredboat's just having issues right now.
Fascinating. Well, you got Pancake in here. Let's see if Pancake works. If that can do people typing in stuff. There we
Oh.
go. That is. What the fuck is
What
that?
the fuck is that?
Fucking goddammit.
What is the Royal Capital Grand Cell?
The Lanedale OST extended.
I typed in Lanedale Royal Capital theme sound.
The application takes issue with your ranking of Valiant Gargoyles.
Oh no. Hold on. Yeah, let's try to get the whole thing in there.
Grace,
If
I'm
it
gonna throw a
comes up.
fucking pillow at you. Stop fucking with the blinds.
Come on. There we go. But it's
And
not
loop
like
it.
a.
Is there a way to loop it?
Yeah, it's repeat. I remember. I think.
Ooh.
Oh, can't use the perms. You'll have to do that.
Oh, I see, I see.
But it's not exactly. It's just the 3 minutes thing on loop, which is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do I lack the perms? Let's find out. No, we're
Did-
good.
Why would you
Yeah.
lack the
I don't know, it's
perms?
happened before, I think.
It's you're an admin.
I know, but
Yeah, it's-
sometimes the bots are insanely stupid.
I've never seen it. Never mind. I'm not gonna question it.
Let's see who's next.
Who is next?
As everything loads in very slowly. Astel, Natural Born of the Void. So the build up to this thing is very eerie, because you're going through Noxtala, and then you're going through the Lake of Rot and the Grand Cloister. I'm gonna throw a pillow at my cat. I'm gonna throw something at you. Stop fucking doing that.
He's gonna eat the cat.
Just eat the cat. Listen, I said it. Now Chill's saying it. Just eat the cat.
Oh god, both of them
Roll
are
it.
out here. I didn't notice the other one until sitting up.
Roll it up in a blanket and eat it like a burrito.
I still, they're
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 pretty
really good.
easy. They're mostly cool from like a visual and atmospheric perspective, and from a lore perspective too, because you
It's
get
very
some references to
creepy.
them. They're
Mhm.
creepy.
I
I
like
like
the
them.
build up because you've seen multiple malformed stars.
Yeah.
I'd put it probably somewhere in like high quality.
I think so.
Yeah.
Because it also, outside of that, they don't really have too much of a character to them.
Yeah,
Like,
they're just a creepy alien thing. Moog the Omen, Sewer Moog, which is basically just first phase of normal Moog. That is just
He's the Margit equivalent
he
of Mo.
is the Margit equivalent. And you know what? I fought him for, I don't know, 45 minutes to an hour the other day because I've heard a lot of people in recent times talk about how, hey, Moog's actually my favorite boss in Elden Ring. I think he's the best boss in the game.
I've heard that a few times.
I
And
will
I'm
say
like-
Moog is probably the most rewarding boss to learn.
I will give my insight on that because after about 3 hours total fighting him solo, I beat him
Is
yesterday.
that Moog the Omen or Moog?
Moog, Lord of Blood.
Okay.
But
Right
I
now
started
we're-
off with the Omen,
Yeah.
who is just Phase 1 Moog. And you know what? Phase 1 Moog is really good. It's really, really good. It really doesn't have any issues. There are, like, no problems with it. You know,
Yeah, either
all of
either
his openings are big.
for me for just base the Omen, either high
Beast.
quality or top quality.
He
I
blocks off the best ending.
Yes, of course.
Trust me.
He's the guardian of the frenzied flame ending. um, I suppose I'll
The
talk
build-up
about
is good.
Moog more when we get to the Lord of Blood. I would put him somewhere in top quality.
Yeah, probably put him below top quality.
I would put him
For me.
like
Because also, from what I'm remembering, Moog the Omen, it doesn't really have too much build up to it. It's
you
just
just
kind
kind
of
of encounter. No, well, there's Moog's
Oh, yeah.
Shackle. You find out about that, and you have Esgar
Oh,
down
yeah.
there.
You get to the bottom of the shunning ground, you walk into this very creepy chapel-like area. It's an empty, like, church room, and then suddenly Moog appears.
that's adding a lot more. I mean, it's adding a lot more to it, but at the same time, not.
Moog appears.
Moog appears.
I'll put him a little bit. Actually, would I put him above or below Logarius? Because Logarius is really good.
Me personally, below Ligarius.
Okay, yeah, I'll put him below Logarius, and he goes below Alant because Alant has like the whole fucking game building up to him. And
See, I like the hidden mechanic of Ligarius. As you fight him more, he defrosts more and becomes quicker.
oh, that's cool. Yeah, I like that.
Next up.
Next up, we have Godfrey the
Yes,
First
Gold
Elden
Strike.
Lord. Not really. I'm pretty sure it's just the grace that was taken from Godfrey given form as like an automated sentinel. He's good.
Yeah.
It's either
He's
that
quality.
or he's an illusion by Margit.
Yeah, one of
I'm-
those two. He's
I'm
good.
pretty sure it's the remembrance because when you beat, later on, you get Horalu's remembrance.
Maybe.
See,
It's
I
because more so
personally believe-
Horalu is who he really is. That's
And
his
maybe
original
he's
identity.
just such a Chad that he got two entities. He's remembered in two ways.
That's
If
crazy.
I'm not wrong,
The
this
warrior
Godfrey
hole.
only appears if you fought Margit before.
Oh yeah, so most bosses, their aggro starts when you walk into their arena. This boss's aggro is activated when you start fighting Margit.
So clearly he must be an illusion by Margit.
Yeah, you know what? That would explain it. Yeah.
Or maybe he just loves us. I don't know.
He goes right around here. I think he goes probably just a bit above Orin because he's phase 1 Godfrey for the most part. And phase 1 Godfrey is really good. But he has no build up to his appearance
You
to
just
the
walk, he's like, oh,
to the
okay.
extent that I feel that's intentional. You just walk into a room, this fucking guy shows up, you see the name of his health bar. Oh, hi Godfrey.
You get a very regal entrance with the music kicking in.
Oh yeah, I love the Lord's Apparition theme. It's really good.
Ah,
It's just kind of a
uh,
more choiry version of the
oh
first
yeah, I have
phase for his main
class.
theme.
Oh well, I'll just asynchronous.
That's a thing you can
Oof.
do.
Yeah, this class you could choose to either go in person, synchronous, or asynchronous. I guess this is just an asynchronous week.
Fuck yeah. Okay,
Great.
Morgoth the Omen King. First off, we have the build-up of fighting Margit. And then we encounter Margit
Oh
again
my.
outside of Langdell. The arena you fight him in is one of the best in the game. It is the Elden Throne. You are at the very base of the Erd Tree, before the throne of Queen Marika, and surrounded by the thrones of the other demigods, many of whom you have already fought and killed at this point. And he's basically just walking up there, talking about how much he hates all his fucking family members.
You do really enjoy the intro because you can tell he's got a bit of respect for some like Mikola and Radon, but you can hear the absolute hate when he speaks of Rykard, for example.
Oh yeah, and it makes sense, because, well, I think there are two reasons behind that. One, Rykard is the Lord of Blasphemy. Two, it seems like Rykard's kind of like, not necessarily running, but is like actively supporting the Omen Killers. So, like, yeah.
Yep,
I
look out.
agree, random background person. I concur.
Yeah.
Morgoth, they're up there.
They're
you
big
know?
ups. Then you get to, oh yeah, the Flames of Ambition. I don't know why they patched that out. I don't know why they changed the cutscene in
It was
patches.
so disappointing.
Where when he fucking crushes his staff, there are like actual flames coming out of it. So it like
Yeah, because
burns
the
away.
sword has like an oily look
Yeah.
to it.
It's made of his blood. And then he fights you, and it's essentially Margit, but
More difficult and
easier?
better.
No, what's weird is that
Margit.
he's
Oh,
easier.
Not easy. Faster. Not
He's
more
faster, which makes it weird that he's easier. I guess it's because, frankly, you will probably be overleveled when you reach him, which may be a bit of an issue.
But
I've
yeah,
seen a
'cause if you
lot
go
of
into
streamers.
places like the subterranean shunning ground, you already get stuff like +8 stones.
Yeah, like I've seen multiple streamers where they got to Morgoth for the first time and beat him in under 2 minutes. First try. Like they barely saw any of the boss.
Morgott has some of my favorite signature attacks, though.
Oh, his attacks are
Yeah.
fantastic. His animations are great. I fucking love it.
The
I love
raining
his
swords.
flips and everything, the sword rain. I love his second phase transition. You can tell this guy has some serious self-loathing problems. I had originally thought he was just talking generally about how, like, his existence is a stain on the golden lineage, which I do think is, like, kind of a secondary context to it. But also in the literal sense, all of the blood that's pouring out of him has gotten all over the thrones. And he's really mad about that.
If you die to him in his second phase, he
Yeah,
says
may the
something
curse
very
seep
similar.
to thy very soul.
He literally becomes a temporary dung eater.
Well, yeah, because what he's saying, I'm a fucking cursed entity. I hope you get my curse. I hope you are totally fucked for all of eternity.
Oh,
I
Yeah.
think Morgoth's definitely peak. And I would still have him as one of the best bosses.
Yeah.
But
For me, a lower peak. But,
but
you know,
still very peak.
it's still peak fiction.
I put him above Radon. I don't know if I'd put him above Ludwig. Because the thing is, I put Ludwig lower than a lot of other people usually do.
My personal opinion, I think Malkuth is just a better Ludwig, but that's just me.
You know what? We're going to make a retroactive change here. Ludwig clears the Bible.
You're putting them
Wow.
all the way. Wow.
I think he does it. And I would put Morgott. Yeah, I would put Morgott just a bit above Radahn. I don't know if I'd put him above the Dark Eater, Soul of Cinder, or the Twin Princes. I'm not sure if I would. And now I'm not sure if Morgott's the best boss in the game anymore, because I originally thought that he was. Now I'm not so sure.
Ooh. He's conflicted.
He summons a swamp in Phase 2, laughed Miyazaki. Ah. Oh yeah, another reason Morgott's better than Margit is because he has a lot more openings for punishing him.
Yeah.
He also uses his full weaponry.
Yeah,
like
he uses
Also-
a lot
and
of shit.
stuff.
Of course, you have the build up to it as well.
Yeah, definitely.
This is the first time that you finally make it to the foot of the Erd Tree, and the one that is the first challenge for you entering this land is now the next major obstacle that you have to overcome when you
He's got
finally
some of
make
the
it to
hardest lines.
Yeah.
Mm.
Let it be Morgoth, last of all kings.
Oh, yeah, have it writ upon thy meager grave, felled by King Morgott, the last of all kings. I like that the last of all kings is an exile mutant that wears rags. That's quite peak.
Ugh.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, whoop. Medir's a better boss, but Morgott has better stuff surrounding him for me personally.
Yeah, I can see that.
There ain't no
Full-
Bible clear, but
No
you know.
Bible clearing here, but
The Bible's kind of overrated.
a little, yeah. It is not the most widely distributed book in the world anymore, I think.
What would that be?
Pretty
look it
sure
up.
Lord of the Rings has outsold it. Ah, yes. Now it's after 2. My cat starts playing with her food bowl to make noise. Naturally. As you do. Full grown falling star beast.
No, it's
Oh.
still the Bible.
That's
this
still the
is
Bible?
Gelman motherfucker.
Looking at this.
What's second?
Hold on, I gotta go really far. Where's the Bible? Between. Oh my God, this is such an extensive list. Oh my. Continue on, I'll find it.
So the full grown falling star beast is basically the other falling star beasts, but it has some more
Ah.
moves.
Yeah, the Bible is the best-selling all time with an estimated 5 billion copies sold. You're telling me that Lord of the Rings has sold 5 billion copies?
I think it was this was a little while ago. It was before there were 5 billion copies.
Let's see. Actually, let's see. This is an increase such as which even they lack comprehensive sales, so we don't know the amount for the Lord of the Rings books.
Interesting. So, the full-grown Falling Star Beast gains a couple new moves that the other one doesn't have. It has, like, a big body gravity thing. It has, like, a laser that's pretty easy to dodge. This thing is definitely way stronger than it should be for where you encounter it.
It's got the same grab that Astel has, the one that lifts you into the air.
Oh, yeah, it does have that, yeah. I would say, sheer mechanical perspective, it's top quality.
Got a
Yeah.
laser beam, that's pretty good.
I'd put it like around here. Upper mid, top quality, just below Demon of Hatred. It's very solid. Godskin Noble. I don't
Fat
rate
man.
it. I don't rate it much higher than the Apostle. I think I actually prefer the Apostle as an enemy, but it is so fucking funny.
You know,
Actually, I'll put it below Armor. I don't like him as
I'm
much,
disappointed.
but
I'm
holy
disappointed
shit,
it
it's funny.
doesn't have any like specific flame attacks for its spear.
Yeah,
or rapier.
yeah, it doesn't actually. That's strange.
they're just a fat motherfucker.
They're just a big guy wearing a fat suit, which is the inflating fat suit is fucking hilarious. Now it does have
The
issues in
band
regards
style.
to the roll. The roll is kind of ridiculous because sometimes it seems like, oh, it's not going to stop until it hits you. I've had times where I think it's gone on for like 30 seconds and hasn't stopped until it hit me.
The Godskins also suffer from the sleep cheese.
Ah, the sleep cheese. I'm definitely using that in the lore play.
My lord, you're fat and lazy. Fall
Yeah,
asleep.
now the Godskin Apostle OST definitely clears the Bible, most certainly, but that's just the OST. The
It's
I
definitely hard carrying them.
I could not believe it encountering a snake man in a fat suit that has the best OST in the game. Like what the fuck? Why is it
It's
so good?
beats to listen to while hunting God.
Beats to listen to while hunting God and skinning random people.
As you
Rykard, the Lord of Blasphemy. This guy, if
I
you
love this guy.
guys were around during the Let's Play, the first playthrough, I spent like a total of 4 hours fighting Rykard because I was shit at the game. He's fairly easy for me now, but back then, Together.
Very well.
Has there ever been another FromSoft character that's been this quotable? I don't think so.
Together.
It's
we
just
will
because
power
he
the
has the best voice acting ever. I have literally never heard a character that sounds like this before, so I actually feel fairly confident in saying that Rykard may have the most impressive voice acting ever. Because
Rykard,
I have no idea what the
does.
fuck they were telling him when they were doing the directing for the voice acting. Like, what sort of
You're a
directions was he
snake.
given to go with this character? You're a
Snake
snake.
voice.
You're a snake, except you explicitly cannot pronounce the S sound.
Make it sound like you're choking on saliva.
Make it sound like you have eaten an entire bag of gravel.
I think that's ironic though. Usually when you have a snake themed character, everything's just
Yeah,
S.
everything's S, but he
So
has no
then
S's.
they're like, let's do the opposite of that.
No S. None allowed. Um,
He does the Storm Ruler the best.
Now, the Storm Ruler's the best. Why does it do Storm Ruler the best? Well, because in previous iterations of the Storm Ruler fights, it's not really a boss fight anymore. It's just, use Storm Ruler a couple times and then it's over.
But yeah.
There's some spectacle attached, but it's not a boss. In this case, it's, here is a special weapon. Fight the boss.
It's a good gimmick fight.
It's a great gimmick fight, honestly.
It is.
It has... So the first phase is like, whatever. It's fairly standard. The snake has a cool design. I love the arena. The overall, like, orange and purple palette of it is really cool. I really love it. It's got a nice kind of spooky atmosphere to it.
Amazing.
The phase transition cutscene is amazing. He has a fucking phenomenal design. We already talked about the voice acting. Then we get into phase 2. OST's great, by the way. And it's you are fighting a boss, like a boss fight, and you are just using a special weapon for it that makes it even more cinematic. The Skull Rain is absolutely deranged, but it does seem like the solution is literally just unlock the camera and run away from him, and then you won't get hit. And
I gotta say, I love when he uses the Taker's Flame and the giant
the Taker's Flame,
vortex above him.
he shoves his sword up into the air and has like a swirling hell vortex surrounding it. It's ridiculous. The spectacle of this fight is absolutely fucking absurd. It's peak. There's no question it's peak. How peak? Well...
Very.
For me, it ain't no Radon.
For you, it ain't no Radon. For me...
I think it's equal.
I would say it's around that ballpark there.
Yeah, no, it could be around the ballpark. It ain't better though.
Yeah, they're siblings, they can share
I'll
it.
have to... I'll have to debate in my mind as we finish up this list where
That's
I would
fair.
put him. Next, the Spirit Collar Snail Godskin variant. What if we took the Godskin duo, but you actually fight them individually? In that
And then
case,
you
it's
fight a
pretty
snake that
alright.
could kill
You know,
you.
it's okay. I'd say like it's somewhere in
Well,
quality.
I'm just gonna someone in chat speaking. If you have any, let me
Yeah, see if
let's
this is
not
spam or something. I don't know. I can
Nah, hold on. Let's do a little
Google translating.
yeah. I don't know what you're talking about. Well, Neither do I. Hold on. Gotta. Next level. Next one. Of course. I'm pure. Okay, I think Google Translate is being a little dumb.
Hey, Google Translate doesn't understand languages.
Let's hear a voice from the stomach.
I imagine they're talking about Rykard's voice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So next up we have Commander Nile. What if we took this guy that already existed, but we gave him endgame scaling, he's in a castle, and instead of summoning a bunch of normal enemies, he summons 2 hyper-aggressive elite enemies. And also, he has a bunch of attacks with varying timings that do a fucking truckload of damage. Do you know what he is?
Nile on his own actually has some pretty fun gimmick to it. He feels like a Dark Souls 3 boss. But when you consider the summons, it's not that fun.
It's annoying. So the fire giant, right? I have voiced my immense disdain for this boss on numerous occasions. I fought him again yesterday. I beat him second try. I was doing a pure strength build for the most part, using the Dragon Great Claw. I did summon Alexander for it. I decided to actually attack his weak points in Phase 2. You know, like the hands and shit. Which is apparently where you're actually supposed to hit him during that phase, even though basically the entire boss fight discourages you from being in front of him. He's not the worst boss in the game. I could not say he is lazy or ungodly, but he's definitely really fucking annoying.
He's a pain.
My position on him has softened slightly. Less abject hatred of him and more just
And a mild annoyance.
a mild annoyance. I don't know. I'm gonna try soloing. Actually, no, I probably won't because I think you have to summon Alexander for the quest line. But
No, you don't.
Oh, you don't? Well, I'm gonna do it anyway to show him off because his big fire whirlwind attack is cool.
The sure you can. It's worth it.
So next, we have Moog, Lord of Blood, who, as I mentioned, I decided in the last couple days, I've heard this fight is apparently mechanically the best fight in the game. It's absolutely fucking outstanding and incredibly rewarding to master. So I'm going to put that to the test. My cat is trying to pull my Xbox controller out of my TV stand.
Clearly
what the fuck are you doing?
Person.
You should suplex them.
What a dumb
I think
little
your
idiot.
cat's a
You're very
PS4
stupid.
elitist.
I own more, actually I own equal Xbox and PlayStation consoles, but I digress. So Moog, Lord of Blood. Phase 1, he has slow attacks. Like, his attacks are delayed, but the thing is they're all delayed. So it's not like you're fighting him at a usual tempo and then suddenly one of his attacks is really slow. No. You're just adjusting your general speed to the boss. All of his blood attacks, I think, have pretty solid telegraphs, so you can tell which one he's going to do. There's a difference between the spray versus the trail. You know, there's a difference between the one that leaves an arc in front of him and one that's just a line going out from him. The only attack...
Blood Flame Talon is good.
Yeah.
This.
Blood Flame Talon also has a delay to it. It's like all of his other attacks, and that the movement is fast, but the actual part you need to dodge has probably the same general delay as his usual attack. The only attack of his that I'm not the biggest fan of is the Blood Rain, just because, like, you basically have to go away from him when he's not doing anything. Though if you have a weapon that has long enough range, if you stand, like, right behind his right elbow, you can still hit him without getting hit by the blood. That's the only one I'm kind of like, whatever. But
Other than
that, not really any problems. Then we get to Phase 2, in which he sprouts wings, and now his spear... Oh, right, I should talk about Nihil. How can I forget about Nihil?
Yeah.
How do I feel about Nihil being guaranteed damage?
You can prevent it if you do Yora's quest.
You can extremely reduce it to the point of it being negligible if you don't even have to do Yura's quest. You just have to go to that church and fight Eleonora.
You just gotta kill Eleanor, yeah.
Yeah.
To get the purified blood
This
crystal.
is an incredibly vague countermeasure to a feature of a boss, but the fact that it exists at all makes me go, yeah, okay.
My portfolio's up.
Nice.
Not to mention, in the first phase, you can use the
This is
shackle as
reminding
well.
me
And
to
you can use
check
the
my
shackle.
stock portfolio I made with a free stock that I got.
Oh, hell yeah.
Wow.
I'm up 23 cents.
Hell
Oh,
yeah.
that's amazing.
I mean, listen, I have only $4 in here. $3 are free stock. So, you know, it's funny. This is what 2 a.m. jokes do to you kids. You enter the stock market.
That's incredible.
Just don't do it for Reddit.
So I think Nihil is
Oh,
fine.
I would never.
Nihil's cool. It's alright.
It is cool.
Phase 2, he starts flying around. He becomes far more mobile. All of his attacks leave the trails on the ground. So now you have to be far more aware of where you're standing in the arena, which is good. Because, effectively, if you are away from him, you're going to be getting hit by that. His entire second phase is borderline forcing you to stay up close to him and engage with him, which is really good. Because the hyper-aggression of a lot of the other bosses kind of discourages engaging with them. It's like you should stay away with them and be hyper-defensive. Moog wants you to be hyper-aggressive. They want you to stay up in his face. What else does he get? He gets a few, like, air attacks.
Yeah.
He also has the ground explosions, which is another case like the, Blood Flame Talon, where just the explosion's delayed, you just need to learn the timing for it. He has like the sweep upward and then he lunges down. That's one that you always want to dodge to the left for, to your left. And then his big thrust will have a follow-up in which he twists it to like send off a blood shockwave. So you basically just have to go behind him or dodge a second time. I'm able to talk about every single thing he does in detail because I fucking memorized all of it over the course of 2 days.
See, that's good though.
That is a sign of fantastic boss design.
And also, I mean, the arena.
The arena, the lead up to him, the reveal of Nicola, the intro cutscene, Moog's character on its own. Like he is the most objectively evil character in any of these games. It's kind of amazing. Like, he is just the worst.
He has taken the exact opposite path of his brother.
Yeah, Morgott...
Which is something else to keep in mind.
Morgott tried to reject everything bad that was perceived about himself. You know, all of the perceived bad things about him. Whereas Moog was just like, oh, I'm fucking terrible. I'm like some kind of evil demon monster. You're goddamn right I am.
Yeah.
I'll fucking show you.
And then he starts a cult.
And then he starts a blood cult. And molested a child. As most blood cult leaders do.
That's what he's shouting at Nicola.
Oh, Jesus.
And he got an otherworldly mummy figure.
Your otherworldly... Yeah. Oh, yeah, Moog definitely has mommy issues. The OST, the Lord of Blood OST is fantastic. Plenty of people have analyzed the song. It's wonderful. Moog is definitely peak.
Yeah.
At the very least from a mechanical
Do they clear the Bible? Not for me. It's just not there.
Give it a few more years and it might.
Clears the Bible is so... It's a high honor. You really gotta be something to clear the Bible.
But is Moog something? I'm not sure.
Yeah,
oh yeah, he has the same voice actor as Tichigren in Dark Souls 2, which is funny because he's also a little blood guy. We went from a little blood goblin gremlin thing to the big blood goblin.
I think a good way to think of it is like this. Would you, man, someone who praises Gale as the greatest boss in all of video games, put Moog on the same tier as that?
I wouldn't.
Yeah, exactly.
To be fair, I'm not sure if I would put these guys on the exact same tier as Gale, but then we'd be getting a little ridiculous.
Well, I mean, just because you're on the same tier, that doesn't mean that there's a level to it. Like, top of clears the Bible could be years away from bottom of it, but still.
Yeah. It's more so the Twin Princes are the gatekeepers for Clear the Bible, because I think they're very peak, they're high peak, but I'm not sure they have quite enough to clear the Bible. And I'm not sure if I like Moog more than I like the Twin Princes. I like them both for very similar reasons, actually. Um, but I'm not sure if I'd put him above those two. I'm not sure if I could do it.
I would say, something like in my good, there would need to be a lot building up to them. And Moog does have stuff, but they don't have like the levels of like
He's more
Gale,
whereas
Yeah, he
or
does.
or
is more
Gurman,
direct.
or Ishin,
Or Ludwig.
or Ludwig, or Inner Father. It's just like you need to have tremendous amounts, and there are some things in this game that I would also put very close, but because of something else, it just doesn't cut it.
Yeah.
But we'll get to it.
So now we get to the Consecrated Snowfields, and we have the other contender for most egregious boss reuse, Astel, the Stars of Darkness.
Oh no.
I
The
don't
insta-kill grab.
necessarily have an issue. I've actually dodged that grab like almost every
Here's the
time.
Bible.
Yeah,
Has
obviously.
vibes that Moog lacks.
Yeah, there are certain vibes
yes,
possessed by
heavenly.
Clears the Bible.
It's gotta have like a build up to it.
Like the Ludwig transition cutscene, and the fact that you get to talk to him after that. That like fucking elevates you. Ishin is there almost like pure fucking mechanics. Like holy shit. Gurman.
Even then, Ishin's just legendary.
Ishin's legendary. Gurman, that's like all emotion and atmosphere. Inner Father, you have two other owl fights that you can do before Inner Father. Not to mention, Sekiro is an actual character, so like you have an actual connection with Owl. And the funny thing is, the other inner variants is just like, oh yeah, this is just like fucking what Sekiro imagines. Like his mental imagination of them is so great
And
that
yeah,
they are people that would try to become stronger with the knowledge that they are people that were defeated by him. With Inner Father, it is literally, this is how powerful Sekiro imagines Owl is.
and then you already went into
We-
Gale,
I-
and we gotta listen. We have an Elden Ring tier list to get to. We don't got another hour to be here.
Right, of course.
But Gale.
Stars of Darkness, my issue is not with the Astel reuse on its own, because it seems like there are more than one of these things. You know, we see the malformed stars in a few areas. I can buy there being more than one. The issue is that Astel is the final boss to a very long NPC quest line, and is a remembrance boss. And then you can just find another one out in the Consecrated Snowfields that doesn't have a remembrance. Or, like, really anything. It's just like, oh, here's another Astel, I guess.
Isn't like the only thing you get from it
You get a
Ash of War
spell.
as well?
You get a... Oh, is it an Ash of War? I thought it was a spell.
Oh no, it's probably a spell then.
Yeah, I thought it was like the Stars of Astel or something.
So yeah, probably just lazy.
It's lazy.
It's gold for it.
I would put it around Godfrey, yeah. Godskin Duo, I don't need to say a fucking thing.
They're better
I-
than Bed of Chaos.
Yeah, not saying much, though.
That's really it.
That is like the
they're
least thing I can say for it.
they're worse than Dragon God. Better than Bed of Chaos.
Oh, fuck. Loretta, Knight of the Halig Tree. What if we took the Loretta fight and we just kind of added on to it, made it better? And Loretta has interesting lore. Loretta goes low in top quality for me.
Yeah.
Probably like bottom top quality. I think these
Oh,
bosses
no.
are a bit better.
For woman.
So the woman. I actually got to Melania here like 20 minutes before this stream started. I could straight up turn on my Xbox and start fighting her right now. I have never been so conflicted on a boss before, ever. Melania
I would say
has so much.
let's
Let
yeah,
me
they
let me
do
let me
have
get
a lot.
my piece out first,
Of
and then
course,
I'll
of
I'll get your analysis as the co-host here. She has so much going for her. She has all of the build-up. I mean, fuck. We get like the first reference to her back in Limgrave. And the first reference to her is her kicking the shit out of Godric. You get reference to her in Liurnia, Caelid. The entire region is in its current state because of her. You keep hearing from various people about her fight with Radahn and how they fought to a standstill. They are the two strongest demigods. You get up to the Altus Plateau, you have Shaded Castle, there are people there that fucking worship Melania as a deity. You have the Millicent quest line building up to meeting Melania. You have the Lake of Rot and the weird cosmic origins of the Scarlet Rot. You have the Halig Tree quest line, which starts back in Liurnia. You make it to the consecrated snowfields, you get to the Halig Tree, basically the entire area is leading up to Melania. You get to her. The atmosphere for the arena, the design of the arena, is wonderful. It's very serene and beautiful.
You took the word right out of my
There you go. It's very reflective of Melania herself, who, while very, disfigured, has a bunch of her body parts missing, is very serene and beautiful in her own way. The start to the fight is very quiet. It's very quiet and toned down. And her voice acting's fantastic. I love her voice. It's wonderful. And then you get into the fight with her. With the OST, which is also really good, by the way. Most of her boss fight is really good. I've been engaging with it recently. Solo, no summons. I want to try and solo Melania. I want to see how long it would take me to accomplish such a thing.
Let me solo her.
Most of her moveset is really good. Most of it's really good. Is she kind of hyper-aggressive? Yes. But I don't think to the same extent as some other enemies. I don't mind her healing mechanic. I think it's fine. It's supposed to say, hey, you don't want to get hit at all during this. Good luck.
But then
then we get
the anime attack.
The mechanical problems with the fight. The two big ones, I would say. One is less of a problem, theoretically, because it makes the fight technically easier. You have the waterfowl dance. I have yet to master waterfowl dance. I am going to try to master waterfowl dance. Is waterfowl dance dodgeable? Yes. Does this technically make it fair? Yes. No. Is it reasonable? No. No, the fuck it is not. It requires such a degree of not only precision, but luck. She can do it any range, any time, after any move. Fucking pray that she's not doing it right after you do some kind of jump attack and haven't run out of stamina. Because you're going to be starting the fight over again right now. It crosses over the threshold. FromSoft tried too hard to make her difficult. There is a difference between trying to make a fight a challenge and trying to make it hard. Because a challenge is something that is supposed to become easy, or maybe at least easier, once you've mastered it, once you've figured out how it works. Look at the peak bosses here. The highest of quality bosses amongst all of these ones here. Ishin. Ishin is the prime example for me. First playthrough, oh, he's horrible. In a good way. Like, he's gonna ruin your fucking life. He will kill you so many times you'll lose track of it. But once you get the Ishin fight down, you can beat him almost any time without much issue. Because that is part of what defines a very good boss fight. That's part of the challenge, is that it's fair, that upon learning it, it becomes second nature to you. With Melania, the waterfowl dance is such a ridiculous move that has so many different factors involved in it that I don't think it's reasonable at all. That no matter what, Melania will pretty much always be hard, no matter how accustomed you are to the fight. The other issue is that she's really easy to stagger. She has really low poise. And you may think, well, isn't that a good thing? Isn't that a good thing? That means, it's easier to get, like, fucking, ripostes on her and stuff. You're able to knock her down to stop her from doing things. No. Because when I fight Melania and, like, co-op and stuff, when I get summoned into other people's bosses or I see other people doing co-op, do you have any idea how many times people's strategy is just, oh, I'm going to use this thing that's just going to cheese her into a corner and not let her do anything? It discourages engaging with the boss and learning the boss, and instead encourages just cheesing her so she can't do anything.
It's two opposite sides of the spectrum.
It's
On one
two
hand,
opposite. Yeah,
you
exactly.
they have a moveset which you have to remember, combined with Elden Ring's use of adding in delay and random timing,
Yes.
it just makes dealing with the waterfowl so much more difficult, because it's like you can't fully master it unless you're now perfecting the frame it begins.
Yes.
Like, and then on the other hand, you have ignoring the mastery and finding ways because people just couldn't handle how the high skill level. I think Melania, they are one of the bosses that, if it weren't for those faults mechanically, could be a contender for clearing the Bible.
I agree, and that's what makes her so frustrating.
Yeah, but then of course you have the mechanics. Her phase 2 also is phenomenally beautiful.
Yeah,
You
phase
beat
2 has
'em,
wonderful. The
and then
visuals are almost unmatched. The OST is wonderful.
she blooms for
Into a
once
god.
more. Yep.
From an artistic perspective, it's very striking, interesting. They've never had a boss that's like, oh, this is a naked woman.
After you beat them, their apology really rings through. I'd put them still somewhere in peak. They're dragged down by some of their mechanical faults, but everything else in the fight has the makings of what they were going for the best boss in any FromSoft. They ticked off so many of those boxes, but one of the boxes that mattered the most got a half mark. Very like low peak.
Melania
Considering
herself has, like,
For me.
thus far, in my current runs today against her, which I have not even gotten to Waterfall Dance yet. I just fighting her with a colossal weapon is fucking tough.
it is. It's awful.
Maybe I'll switch to something else that's a little faster. Who knows? I'll switch out of my strength weapon. I know, how cowardly of me.
But also, I know it's something else. It's like, you gotta think of how this boss literally built a legend within the community
It
of
did
Elden Ring.
do that, yeah.
A legend to such a degree that FromSoft reached out to them and sent them a gift.
They sent them a fucking sword.
You're-
It had to go
I-
through French customs. They were like, why
I
are you getting a
really-
weapon?
I really cannot think of any game, like, because this guy isn't, they weren't a streamer or some type of
They're just
influencer.
some random guy.
They're a guy. I really cannot think of a game that someone has had such an impact on a community that the developers reached out in such a way.
It's really amazing.
It is.
Yeah. And that could only be done because of Millennia. Obviously, that doesn't really count, but I feel it is something that should be mentioned for how amazing that is in regards to, all this.
Having been fighting her and not getting to Waterfall Dance yet, I've enjoyed fighting her, even though I keep dying, with barely getting like 10% of her health down. We'll see how my opinion on her changes. You make a very convincing argument.
Melania
Because-
herself has like a poise value of 60. It's the exact same as Renala, which means it's really good if you play by yourself or with a spirit summon, but in co-op it's exploitable and it's not fair.
I think it's
Yeah.
exploitable with spirit summons as well, to an extent.
I think, like, an example of one that you have really low, which makes sense, is Old King Allant. They are someone built up throughout the entire game.
Yeah,
Or
or True King Allant.
not
Old King
True
Allant's
King,
the...
not True. I meant True King.
Yeah.
But yeah, True King Allant, someone's built up through the entire game, but then their fight is just like thematically it makes sense, but there's no enjoyability. Millennia, there still is the aesthetic sensation of challenge, and
Yeah.
there can be enjoyability for certain aspects, but it's really just, I'd say, outside a co-op, it's one single move that really drags it down.
There's a lot of reward to Melania as well, because just like Orphan, you can actually learn to parry her.
You can.
Yeah.
I need to try that, actually. I need to start trying to parry.
You gotta do it 3 times before you can actually
Yeah, I
get
know.
a
You
proper
usually want to do it when she
mode.
does, like, the fucking... You know, it's actually very similar to, like, the scimitar flurry that Gurman does, which is also very good for abusing parries.
But yeah, I'd put it low peak.
I'm going to have to agree.
Yeah, because in the end, I'm a sucker for a good narrative
Putting her
and
bottom
great
peak.
aesthetic.
Putting her bottom peak for now.
Yeah.
Actually, no, mechanically, she's kind of better than... I'll put her above
She's like
Vaughn.
I'd say she's like beside Maria.
Win it!
I wouldn't put her above Manus. I don't think. I'm not sure.
Oh,
I wouldn't put him above Ishin.
Yeah.
Old Man Ishin is so good.
We'll see. Will probably become more confident of this placement with time. Like, just experience playing against her. I do not imagine her going up.
Yeah,
She's very exploitable to stuff like Frostbite as well.
I think she is the most egregious example of some of the boss design flaws in Elden Ring. She possesses the highest highs and the lowest lows of any boss at the game, I think.
True.
Yeah, well, not the lowest lows.
Maybe not the lowest lows, but from like a mechanical
But the
design
most
flaw
obnoxious
perspective,
lows.
the most obnoxious lows.
Yeah.
A boss that could have been up here, could have joined these legends.
It could have sat at the round table with kings and gods and people
And big weird horse monsters.
and big weird horse monster.
But just
No.
one or two things wrong, and it falls short. How tragic.
Mm-hmm.
Now then, to a less controversial boss, Dragon Lord Placidus Axe. This thing slaps.
I like this guy.
This
Yeah,
boss
I think he's
slaps
equal to
very
Medea.
hard.
Yeah,
I
I'd
think he's
put
just
them.
as good as Medea.
I'd put him just as good to maybe above or below. I, haven't experienced Placidus X personally. I've seen gameplay, but obviously actually getting your hands on it is much different.
So
There's something about Placidus.
Placidus Axe doesn't have the biggest build-up ever. There are like one or two references to him earlier in the game, and it's not by name.
Mm-hmm.
They're all
But,
pretty cool.
but what if we put two of her in a room?
What if we put two of her in a room?
Oh, way.
I can't wait.
Wait,
The
actually,
Mikola, the Mikola DLC will have
Placidus
the
Axe?
Melania duo.
Doesn't have too much build up. The
Prior.
arena is
the
fantastic.
build-up when you get
The
to it.
build.
When you
Yeah, the build-
you lay down in your
build-up
FromSoft mandated random button prompt area, you
Mhm.
lay down, time stops and then reverses as the fucking area around you starts to reconstruct itself and the storm expands. You find yourself in this gigantic coliseum in a storm that's happening in slow motion, and this
Outside it,
giant
beyond time.
rotting stone two-headed dragon. Two-headed because the
Just
other heads are
floating.
missing. Just fucking floating in the air. It's very eerie and really cool.
Now,
It's
the
got this
question is,
very
Do you have
imposing
your
look.
first experience fighting the boss affect your ranking? because that happened to a lot of people.
That was actually the first time I beat him that happened. I've
Yeah, that's
fought
what I
him
mean. First time
multiple
beating.
times since then after it's been fixed. So I get
Yeah.
the full experience with Placidus Axe.
That's good.
He
That's
is
good.
incredibly cinematic. He seems to be built around not attacking the head, which is good. Because that means he doesn't have some of the issues that other
Means you can go
previous
for
dragon
anywhere.
bosses had. Attacking his back is still good. Because, he turns around and he spews fire at you, but you can just jump over his tail and avoid it. The lightning claws are really cool.
The teleportation is cool.
Teleportation's cool.
The flying lunge attacks
The flying
are
lunge.
great.
This fight is
Yeah.
so cinematic. It's one of the most cinematic fights. Like, it's up there with Rykard almost.
It's got one of the coolest looking arenas. It looks
It
like a
does.
place from Shadow of the Colossus.
It does actually. That's actually a really good comparison. The Placidus Axe's Ruin, the laser attack, great from a cinematic perspective. It's not the hardest
It's
thing
like
in the
a
world to
Medea
dodge.
laser.
Like, it'll one-shot you if it hits you, but it's not the hardest thing ever to dodge. It is a lot like the Medea laser. And the lightning nuke.
The
I
lightning nuke is the best part.
absolutely love. There is so much emphasis put on the power of this attack, it literally stops the music.
Oh. Oh, that's such a good part.
Placidus
Especially
Axe.
when the music's rising and then suddenly it cuts out
Oh,
completely.
and when he's done doing his breath attacks and he like splays his wings out and both of his heads are curling up into the sky with the flames spewing out. Oh my fuck, this fight's so cinematic.
And when he turns into the storm,
Oh my god.
he's got golden fire
So
just like
far,
the Elden Beast.
I am putting him right next to Moog, Lord of Blood. Moog is better mechanically. Placidus Axe is better spectacle-wise. I'm not sure which one I would put above the other yet, but right now I'm valuing mechanics a little bit more. But
As
they're
a boss,
both...
you should value the mechanics a bit more.
I should.
But I would keep him right beside Medea in a sense.
Yeah, around there. Next.
Well, in the end, mechanics they fall into the aesthetic
Enjoyment.
feeling you're meant to get. So
Yeah. Next. The Beast Clergyman and Malekith the Blackblade. So Phase 1,
Oh,
I definitely have not gotten a full handle of yet. He is, like, insanely aggressive. His moveset's fucking ridiculous. Though, it's funny. I've seen very different takes on this fight. I've seen one take that this fight would be almost perfect if it weren't for Phase 1. Phase 1 ruins it. And then I've seen other takes where people were like, this fight would be perfect if it was just Phase 1. Phase 2 ruins it. And then there are other
I
people
think
that are
they-
like, this whole fight's amazing.
I would say yes, it is an amazing fight. I would definitely say I think Phase 2 is better than Phase 1 because Phase 2 is him like
it's
I guess you
true
would say
to him.
Beast Clergyman is him like hiding himself.
Beast Clergyman's a lot of him just kind of thrashing around and doing a
Yeah,
lot of
he's just
things that are kind of
thrashing.
chaotic.
And
I
he's just
do-
kind of hiding from who he is, and then Phase 2 he draws out what has been I guess sealed within him and using it to battle against.
Oh, that. Listen,
Beast
folks, we
Clergyman's
talk
biggest
about these
fan.
transition cutscenes. Oh, death. There are very few transition cutscenes go above Malekith's transition cutscene.
Become
Yeah.
my
I would
blade
say
once.
Ludwig definitely
I would
still
hold
does.
it above Ludwig.
You would
in
put it
my
above
opinion.
Ludwig. You would put it above the Moonlight
Yes.
Greatsword.
Just the just the
The
transition.
transformation's better.
I think that's
Oh
just
no,
what you're
something about pulling out basically the
Pull it,
rune of
something about
death,
pulling
use it as a weapon.
Something about that.
something about pulling out.
Death
So, you know-
become my blade once more.
Oh, so fucking good. Phase 2 is really good because he's really aggressive, but he has a lot of openings once you learn how to spot them. And he has pretty solid openings. Like you can get a couple hits in.
There's
Yeah.
solid cinematic value with him jumping between the pillars.
I like his OST. It's not one of my favorite OSTs. It's very different from a lot of them and how like kind of toned down it is, in that it feels like it's almost all choir and very little of the rest of the orchestra, as far as I can tell. At least in Phase 2.
I feel you don't really notice it in the first part until he goes into phase 2.
Yeah. And Malekith himself is an interesting character, and he actually does have a pretty solid amount of build-up. He gets referenced quite a bit. All references I
Yeah.
somehow missed in my first playthrough. Like,
To
almost all
give
of the
some-
Godskin stuff references him. The Blackblade Kindred stuff references him. Roger tells you about him.
You literally talk to him.
You literally talk to him. The Garank quest line technically builds up to this fight, in that you literally
you
fight him
complete-
at one point during it. And if you complete it, he gets different dialogue during the fight.
Yeah,
The only
he's
issue
like
I have with
astonished
this
why
boss
he's
is it's two different bosses that are both good, but they're so different from each other it
Yeah.
disturbs the flow of the fight.
That is another criticism I have heard, and I understand that. There's a bit of an issue when the two phases of a boss are effectively different bosses. Ideally, phase 1 of a fight should be training you to deal with phase 2, and then, if there's phase 3 or something. It is certainly, I would say, a flaw of this fight that I don't think Beast Clergyman teaches you how to fight Malekith.
No, it does not.
You learn to fight
Except
Beast
for the
Clergyman,
speed.
and then you learn how to fight Malekith. They're completely different entities.
The only thing that you can gather from Beast Clergyman that you can take for Malekith
Is that he's fast
that
and
they're
flips
both
around a lot.
aggressive.
Yeah, that they're both really
Yes.
aggressive. But they both attack at like different speeds. They have different attack ranges.
Yeah, they got different patterns altogether.
I would accept this criticism of Malekith.
To give a bonus to the Beast Clergyman, there's something about him using the Beast incantations that he's taught you throughout the entire game that is
That is
really cool.
I do
Yeah.
like that.
I
Is his
think
Also,
dagger
the
a weapon you
Bernal
can
quest.
get? I would love to have that.
Yes, you can. It's right beside the chapel where Garank is.
Is it?
Yes.
I gotta go grab that someday. Gotta go nab that.
Not to mention something about the Bernal questline. You can parry Malekith's
Yeah, you
attacks
can
once
you can
complete
parry
that.
his attacks that flash gold. I'll have to try that. I've never managed it before. Malekith is definitely peak.
That they are.
Would I put him above Morgott or below him as I have before? I think he has more issues than Morgott does, so I will put him below Morgott and Midir. He is the coolest boss in the game. He's so fucking cool.
That is true. The way he just flips about and flings projectiles at
Now
you.
we go on
Ooh.
to Sir Gideon Ofnir, the all-knowing. We've entered the final 3 bosses.
all
Knowing! He's boring. You can literally murder him before he's done fucking talking. It's
The best thing
interesting
about
that he
Gideon is
spams
if you do
attacks.
the frenzied flame.
Yeah, hit him with that frenzied flame. Yeah, whatever. He exists.
Gideon
Actually,
cleared the
I'd put him up a
Bible.
little higher just because he literally spams all of the spells that he's been giving you.
True, I love the part about him learning all of the boss moves that you've beat.
Yeah, that's neat.
It's just
So-
a shame that he's an NPC fight.
Yeah. Horalu, starting off as Godfrey. This guy has literally had the entire game building up to him. You hear about him throughout almost the entirety of the game. You can see his influence in other characters, other bosses. Godric is heavily inspired. He's basically trying to one-up Godfrey.
You have also when Godfrey starts, the first thing is him looking at the remains of Morgott, caressing.
And the Morgott,
Okay.
when Morgott fades away, his grace directs him to you.
I was just about to
Yeah.
talk that. I didn't notice that
Yeah.
until someone pointed it out. When you get to him, first off, he's mourning the death of his son. And as Morgott's body fades away into grace, it turns into the guidance of grace, and it is leading Godfrey to you. Throughout the entire game, Grace has been guiding you to your boss fights.
Now,
You
Grace.
are Godfrey's boss fight. You are his boss fight. You are the last obstacle in his way to becoming Elden Lord again. So you're
But
both
the
kind of
same
rivals in a
is
way.
for you.
It is. You guys are here. He's almost like a video game rival. Almost. That you're both here for the same things. You're competing to get to the end of the game, to fight the final boss.
There was
This-
originally cut content in the game where Godfrey would be the first person who sent you to the lands between, which would have made this encounter a lot more personal as well.
I suppose. Please stop praying for my grandpa. You're making him too strong. He broke out of the hospital and the cops can't get him. He's too powerful.
It's too power.
What else? Okay. The arena you fight him in. It's the same arena you fought Morgott in, but the Erd Tree's on fire. Langdale has become the city of ash. It's the Ashen capital. The world around you is burning away. The old world, the old kingdom is burning away to ash. You have
Make
killed
Chaos take the world.
You have killed everyone else of note. There is not really anyone else left of note around. So it's just you two guys fighting to see who can be the big man in charge now.
Who
And
is
well,
the
I feel like
tarnished?
this other thing applies more in the second phase. So you get into the fight. Is for the most part. Oh yeah, and he has Sirash there. Sirash adds cool points because it's a ghost lion
Yeah.
stand.
The
And in a
subversion.
surprising twist, does not turn it into some kind of gank fight. Incredible. Phase 1, it has all of the positives of the fake Godfrey. You know, he has a really solid
Except now
moveset.
it's the real one,
It's the
and
real
he's
one.
interacting with you.
Yeah.
And
he
there's
has-
bigger shockwaves.
He has plenty of openings. He has more shockwaves, but the shockwaves have fine telegraphs to them. Overall, it's just really solid. It does not suffer from like over aggression and not leaving you any openings. It's really, really good. It's really solid. Then you get to phase 2, and Sirash starts to become physical, and you're like, ah, shit, it's turning into a gang fight. No. No.
Grabs the rush.
Grabs Sirash, rips him apart. And that's where you maybe found out earlier from the talisman that you get from Godfroy that Sirash is basically Godfrey's normal pills. Godfrey was chosen to be Elden Lord because he was just the strongest guy around and could be used to defeat all of the Erd Tree's enemies. But he was such a fucking maniac that they had to, like, calm him down a bit so
They
that
had
he
to
could...
give him a calming lion
They
stand.
had to give him an emotional support animal so that he could chill the fuck out for 5 minutes and at least partially run a country. But now that you're here, and he can't beat you that way, he fucking tears apart Sirash and goes back to being Horalu. Not the
Warrior.
Elden Lord, just a warrior.
Yep.
Because the deal here is, when Godfrey first shows up, he's like, oh yeah, like, good job on your whole journey and everything thus far, but like, I'm
This is
here, and I'm Godfrey the first Elden Lord, so tough shit. At this point, he acknowledges you as an actual rival, and understands he has to actually prove himself again if he wants to become Elden Lord once more. So he goes back to just being himself, just being another warrior like us. So here, underneath the burning kingdom of the Erd Tree, there are no more gods and no more kings. It's just two men fighting each other.
Welcome back, fine.
Welcome back, fine.
Fun
here at the
to
last
enjoy
two
the last
bosses.
two bits.
Now,
3 if you want to count it.
Now, this second
was that?
phase... What was that?
no, you just save your thing first. Meeting, so.
Okay. Horalu is insanely aggressive. He is fucking ridiculous. But I think he leaves enough openings. I think he leaves enough. As long as you know what you're doing, you can dodge around most of his stuff. You can dodge around his grabs. You just stay away from him when he does the roar. It doesn't damage you even if it hits you. I don't think he has any moves that are unfair. Oh, the warrior line delivery is a little funny. Put him in ungodly.
Warrior.
It's a bit of a weak line delivery, but the literal entirety of the boss fight makes up for it.
Yeah.
Oh no, there's something so cheesy about it. It's kind of good.
It's
Yeah,
something
it's like
something
he's
kind
trying
of.
to people trying to just shout their title at some point. He just goes, "Warrior."
Everyone has like this big, crazy epithet. He's just a worry. He's just a guy.
Yeah.
His grab
He's a
attacks are
visual.
hilarious. I love them. They're so
Love
fucking
juggling.
funny. I love getting thrown 100 feet up into the air. I love getting body slammed. I love getting hit with the people's elbow. I have seen at least one person complain about his charge grab, how he just seems to fucking slow down in midair for no reason. Like it's a
Oh yeah,
stupid
that is a
delay.
little weird.
He's
Let
straining
me-
himself. What do you mean?
I have heard a good explanation for this, and I'll tell you what it is. A lot of grab attacks in these games have no weight behind them. Like, they're just so fucking floaty, they just happen. And charge attacks, too, a lot of times they feel a bit floaty. It's a lack of realism for the purpose of adding weight and impact to what he's doing. You can fucking feel the weight behind Godfrey propelling himself forward to try and tackle you. And it's cool. I'm fine with that little lack of realism for that.
I like to imagine he just has such immense strength. He's able to hold himself back even in that position.
Maybe. He's ridiculous. And when you finally beat him, he's like, yeah, you deserve it. You're really cool. Good job.
You're really
My
cool.
strength
Dap me up, bro.
befits my crown.
The
I
die
mean,
strength
yes,
befits a crown.
I said the same before, but I will not take it back. But if there was any boss, in the end it comes down to just the opinion of the VC, that had clear the Bible potential, it would be Godfrey Horla.
I'm so tempted. But I'm not
Gameplay-wise-
sure. I'm not sure if he's the best boss in
Yeah,
the
I-
game. Actually,
He's such a
yeah.
Chad.
Because gameplay-wise, phenomenal, and the ambience behind him, the build-up, is also phenomenal. It ticks off every box correctly.
but does he have the vibes?
Does he have the vibe? In the end, that's up
Does
to
he
you.
have the
Well,
vibes?
then again, he is an old man who is extremely old, OP. That's a pretty
OP
fun stuff
old
thing.
man.
He's an OP old man. The setting's
That's
great. The
very-
build-up's great. The
that's very
OST's great. The
fun
fight itself is mechanically great. Would I put him as the best boss in the game?
It's a hard decision.
It's such a fucking hard choice. It's so difficult.
Because really, you're comparing him to Moog.
I'm comparing him to Moog, yes. Moog is either the best boss in the game or the second boss in the game. This is the
I
realization
think-
I've come to. He is one of the best bosses.
I think, from
I'm
my
fucking
personal
Mooging.
opinion, Moog mechanically is great, and I could see an argument for him being mechanically better. I'm not going to state, since I personally have not played against either, I've only seen fights against them, so I can't give my own account. An argument could be made for Moog having better mechanics, but in terms of build-up, I'd say Godfrey's better. In terms of the atmosphere of the fight and the cutscene beforehand, I'd say Godfrey takes back. On a narrative standpoint, I'd put him above. Especially because he is the first Elden Lord. For you to prove yourself as worthy of taking the seat, the throne, you must overcome the ancestor that sat there before you.
You know what? Fuck it, we ball. He's the bottom of it, but he clears the Bible.
It's
Oh
true.
my god.
Fuck it.
Oh my.
Fuck it, we ball.
Elden Ring does clear the Bible.
It
then.
does.
It does clear the
It
Bible.
just
You know,
does it, but it does
It's,
it.
you gotta get through the whole game, and things there.
To
And
be
now,
fair, if you want to have any, like, what do we have? Final boss of the franchise, post-game content, straight up new game plus content, final boss, late game DLC boss, penultimate boss.
He isn't miserable enough to clear the.
It's perfect.
He isn't miserable enough to be clear the body. He's cooler than Moog, but I'd say Moog is better
Moog's
mechanically.
better mechanically.
Yeah,
I think mechanically
I said,
Moog is the best boss in the
or
game.
you can say mechanically, but I'd say they are pretty close.
They're pretty close.
In that regard.
Yeah.
And so even if Moog's better for narrative purposes, Godfrey Horlu goes above.
Oh, my cat's complaining
And
to me now.
narrative and build up and all that are very important.
They
now
are.
I say the final boss is peak.
You
It could-
think Radigan and the Elden Beast are peak?
Yes. I
So-
think it's peak because of one. I mean, let's just the first before we get to any of the build, I want to just cut to this immediately. Where goodbye, Chill.
Farewell, British man.
Goodbye. But you enter the fight, and then the first thing, the main theme
The
plays.
main,
know
you get
it
the
hits
cutscene,
different.
you get the dramatic cutscene, which is kind of ominous. You see them
Yeah.
turning into Radigan, and you get the fucking main theme. They reenact the trailer and shit.
Now, the first, I'm going to just say this to me. The first phase in itself, very close to clearing the Bible for me.
Phase 1, Radigan is most certainly phenomenal.
It's the build up to Radigan is throughout the entire game.
I
Not
would
as
say
much
it's
as
definitely not as much as Godfrey. It's
not as much as like Godfrey or he's it's straight in one way where Godfrey as the Elden Lord is a light, a shining beacon that everything is pointing to it. Radigan is like a shadow. And in the end, it is him, that shadow, that shatters the ring. That shatters the ring.
Actually, he tried to fix the America.
Oh yeah, he tried to fix it. Yeah, no, though they're the same. You know.
Well, they say, oh, America
It's-
broke the ring. Radigan tried to fix it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's what I meant. But either way, he's trying to grasp while the two of you are outside fighting for who's going to become the Lord. He's there trying to hold together the greater will or the physical manifestation of it in the Elden Ring. The entire game builds up to the Erd Tree. You have now had multiple fights at the base of the tree, but now finally you get into it. This is a presence, even if it's Radigan himself's not built up. The Erd Tree is something you just almost always see. It is this giant beacon at the center of the map, near the center of the world. It could be viewed as the center of the world. Narratively, you get to his fight, the build up to it. They're being imprisoned. You get there, it breaks. Radigan takes form and knows what you're there. You're there to kill him. And in his mind, you could say in that moment, he doesn't know your intentions, whether it is to repair the ring, break it, put in your own runes, so he has to defend it. For he is the vessel of the greater will. Which then you get to the second phase and you fight the vassal of it. The first phase is just phenomenal in every regard, and you can't. His attacks, they're insane.
I think one move I would have any kind of complaint about. It's the teleporting that does an explosion that damages you. I don't like that.
Yeah,
I don't like that.
That is very intense.
Yeah.
But
Sunny describes this boss as the sloppy seconds in the Celestial Dragon.
I mean, it's true in a sense, I guess. But yeah, no, I'd say. But in regards to a one mechanic move, dragging down the boss, it is no waterfall.
It's not waterfall. It's definitely not waterfall. It's just a move that I'm like, eh.
Radigan himself is enough to put it so high. And then I know your feelings on the Elden Beast.
I fought Elden Beast
I've been
again.
talking a little bit. I'll
So-
let you go for a little bit.
Elden Beast is cool. You know, its design is very interesting and ethereal. It's fucking weird. The arena you fight it in is very beautiful. And I think at least half of the boss is good. I think it kind of it loses some points. It doesn't quite tick off one of the boxes, and that there is, like, I think literally one reference to its existence in the entire game prior, and that's when you get Elden Stars.
But either way, I think that makes sense. This is not meant to be something you know exists. This is
True, but
you.
a very similar boss to this was the Moon Presence. It's the secret final boss to Bloodborne. It's the cosmic eldritch entity that's behind everything. And even though I think it's technically only referenced by name once, its influence and Gurman and Lawrence's interaction with it is referenced multiple times. There's very clearly something very mysterious and strange orchestrating the hunter's dream. I don't think there's really enough reference to the Elden Beast.
I would say maybe not the Elden Beast, but you gotta remember, what is the Elden Beast?
It is a servant
They are
creature of the Greater Will.
vassal
It's the
to
Elden
the
Ring.
Greater Will. They are a vassal, someone that represents it. So even if the Elden Beast himself, as an entity, is not built up, the Greater Will is this presence throughout the entire game.
That's true. That's true.
And this is the physical embodiment of the Greater Will. So really, it's just Elden Beast as a term that is there. You could really just, sub it in. It's just vassal of the Greater Will, and it's the same thing. But it doesn't really have as much of a ring as Elden Beast.
That's true, that's true.
And then also, here's something that I think I remember you saying in your first playthrough when you fought Elden Beast after you beat them, or maybe it wasn't after you beat them, in reference to the arena, where it is a place surrounded by Erd trees. And you brought up the idea that this was just one of many worlds where the Greater Will has seeded its influence. And while you may have slain a god, it is but a small fraction of this Greater Will. The fight itself is very serene, it's very beautiful. They are a majestic creature. I understand it is a bit of an anticlimax in a way, but narratively, it's peak. It's mechanics. If the Elden Beast had the same mechanics or same mechanical intensity as Radigan, it could be another clearing the Bible. But for me, on a pure story build-up, narrative, aesthetics, and ambience, along with the near perfect phase 1, it's a peak fiction
Now,
fight.
let's see.
Now, of course, this is just my own opinion, and I know that there are people out there that just go, Elden Beast, big stinky doo-doo garbage fight.
Because
I heavily disagree with that, but
the chasing around Elden Beast is very annoying.
that
It has
that isn't-
too few openings because it just always swims around everywhere. It's very hard to keep up with it. As some person said, I think, what was it, Joseph Anderson said something? It feels like they just forgot to enable torrent for this fight.
Do you want to know what? If they had torrent in the fight, I think that definitely would have made it better. But a lot of the fights in this list were like the arena is too compressing, too small. And so that takes away. The Elden Beast is the exact opposite. It's too big. It makes sense for the arena to be this grandeur space, but it's too much.
Oh my god, Heavenly, you're right.
Yeah.
Elden ulcerated tree beast, vassal of the Greater Will. It is truly the ulcerated tree spirit of the Erd Tree itself. My god, It all makes sense. And fucking Elden Stars. Do you know why Elden Stars is so bad? I don't think you can dodge it. I think it straight up just traces you and constantly damages you, and then it does other attacks at the same time.
Yeah.
It's really bad. Elden Stars is, really fucking egregious.
And it's because of things like that it is not a fight that I can go, yeah, this clears the Bible.
You know what? I'll fucking...
In the end, it's your list. If
you make a very compelling
those are my arguments for it being at least peak, because its representation on a pure story level is just as good as Godfrey
You
for
make a
me.
very compelling argument. Very compelling.
It's the only reason I joined this call because eventually we're gonna get to
That
Radigan,
was
and
just
I
straight
did
up the
not want
reason you
you to put
joined.
him to just. Where would you? I mean, I imagine you'd probably just put him like, probably just top quality or quality.
I would have probably put him somewhere in top quality.
Yeah, but I'm like, nah, he's better than top quality.
I'll fucking put him above Sin there.
They are the guy that you enter, and then boom, one of the best main themes
The
in
guy that you
FromSoft's
enter.
game.
Wow, that's crazy.
You enter, and then the main theme plays. You're like, oh my god.
You know, that's true. That's pretty true. Well, there you have it,
That's why
folks. That's
Yeah.
that's all the Soulsborne bosses. Every
You've-
single one of them.
you've done it. This one stream in itself,
3
I
fucking
think
hours. It's longer than the
longer
entire
than-
playlist. Jesus
longer
Christ.
than the whole playlist combined.
Well,
Now,
that's what
does it
happens
say?
when a game has like 100 and something different boss encounters, 100 and something unique boss encounters.
Radagon is ginger ungodly.
Oh, but Misk, in cut dialogue, Moog says sex. You make a very compelling point here as well. I can't disagree. Radigan is ginger, put it in ungodly. Oh my fucking god.
Like Godskin duos, they're so ungodly that it just loops back around to clears the Bible.
Oh,
It's Civ Gandhi aggression.
Jesus Christ.
So pacifist, they just loop back to the other side, and now we're just lobbing the fat man and little boy at you full speed.
That is so fucking funny. Oh my god.
Yeah, you should I don't know if you have it in, Oop. But you should probably cause this is probably not a tier list that you could just go take a screenshot. I mean, I guess you could probably do a lot of.
I
Zoom
could
in.
do. I mean, we're here right now on like the top of the. I will screenshot this and post. These are the best Soulsborne bosses. There.
Yeah. That or you just you can I'm pretty sure just on Tier Maker you could just publish a list.
Oh yeah, I probably can do that. Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess maybe I'll do that.
Oh, the stream's doing a little buffering.
A little buffering, but we're done, so
But,
I don't care.
Yeah,
I don't care anymore.
you've done it. You've ranked every. Do you
I've beaten.
statistically?
I fought every fucking Soulsborne boss, and I've tiered all of them.
And you fought some of them multiple times.
I fought some of them many
think
multiple times.
Yeah, you fought a bunch of them multiple times.
Yeah, there's definitely at least one boss on here that I've probably fought a dozen times. At least one. Most of these, I think, almost. I mean, I've technically tried fight. I think the only bosses on here I've never beaten are Ancient Dragon and Ludenzahlen, just because fuck you. I will. They are such dog shit, and completely optional. There's basically no good reason to fight them. So I just have never beaten them, because I don't care. I've seen enough. As you would say. So yeah, that's all the Soulsborne bosses. I hope you enjoyed, those of you who've sat here for 3.5 hours through all of our
You wanna
technical
let me-
difficulties.
I'll
What?
give you a like.
You'll give me a like? Thank you.
Yeah,
I appreciate that a lot.
yeah. I would say give you $1, but I'm already a member. Give me more membership perks.
Okay, what do you want?
I don't know.
It's occurred to me there'll probably be new. I think since Bleach and Chainsaw Man are starting, we may be doing like group watches. I may record those and have those as Patreon content to actually have something on there. Maybe a good idea.
But I'm no longer a
Well,
patron.
I know you're not
I'm
a patron, but other people are
superior-
patrons.
I'm superior YouTube member.
The superior YouTube membership. Okay, but those
Yeah.
I would have to put on Patreon because they would just be instant copyright strikes.
True.
So yeah, thank you all for watching. I'll see you next time when we getting back to the Elden Ring lore play sometime this week. I say that as if we've taken a really long break or something. It's just a usual break, but yeah, we'll be continuing that this week. Until next time, I'll see you all around. Take care. Bye-bye.
You reached 10 likes. Congrats.
Yeah! Let's go! Great way to end the stream.